This poor boy witnessed his mother being murdered while he himself trembled and hid in the bathroom, helpless to do anything. The pain became even deeper when Young-gun realized that his mother's death was closely linked to his policeman father. Because Young-gun's father was holding top-secret documents exposing the crimes of the underground forces in the industry, Young-gun's mother died because she wanted to protect those documents. Since then, Young-gun has carried hatred and resentment. He hated the cruel murderers who took his mother away and blamed his father for pushing his family into tragedy. Growing up with that distorted wound, Young-gun joined the police force, but he did so not to obey but to look straight into the corruption within. Young-gun chose to become a policeman to get closer to the enemy. He wanted to find the enemy who killed his mother himself and make him suffer the appropriate punishment. A police officer was on duty monitoring traffic when he accidentally saw a car running a red light. He immediately drove after it, but the white car refused to stop and sped away. Young-gun is an extremely reckless person. Young-gun accelerated and blocked the car, forcing the driver to get out of the car. After Young-gun checked the driver's ID, he found out that the driver's name was Son Hyung-min. Young-gun was supposed to find him and let him go, but Hyung-min kept acting strangely, which made Young-gun suspicious. Young-gun asked Hyung-min to open the trunk to check, and unexpectedly, there was a child's shoe inside. Young-gun wanted to pull Hyung-min out of the car, but he discovered blood on Hyung-min's hand. Young-gun was also stabbed in the arm by Hyung-min and then fled. Young-gun immediately drove after him, but Hyung-min abandoned the car and continued running. Young-gun had to call the police station for help. Later, Young-gun chased Hyung-min to a park. Hyung-min took a child hostage and forbade Young-gun to continue following him. But Young-gun refused to give up. Young-gun shot Hyung-min once in the shoulder. However, he still lost sight of Hyung-min. Luckily, Young-gun found a blood trail, and based on it, he went to a house. At this moment, Captain Jang of the investigation department and a policeman arrived. They were going inside to arrest the person, but Young-gun had to wait outside because he was injured. Young-gun accidentally discovered the house sign that belonged to Hyung-min and her daughter. Only then did Young-gun know that the girl who was taken hostage was Hyung-min's daughter. Moreover, Young-gun also found it strange. He had not even reported the location of the house to Captain Jang, but Captain Jang was able to find her here. Young-gun was about to go into the house to check on the situation when he realized that the door was locked. Young-gun knew something was wrong, so he immediately rushed into the house. Young-gun went to check Hyung-min's wound. Young-gun discovered that in addition to the bullet wound he had shot, Hyung-min also had another wound in his abdomen. Hyung-min leaned close to Young-gun's ear and reminded him to be careful. Unexpectedly, the police officer named Seok-hoon was about to stab Young-gun with a knife. Hyung-min's daughter, who was hiding to the side, saw it through the mirror. The smart girl ran out to save her father and Young-gun. Seok-hoon quickly put away the knife. At that time, Young-gun also discovered something strange. Captain Jang and Seok-hoon went to arrest someone, so there was no reason for them to wear gloves. When the two heard Young-gun say that, they took off their gloves and left. They used the excuse that Young-gun had shot someone against the rules, so they took Young-gun back to the station to warn him. Captain Jang let Seok-hoon interrogate Young-gun. In fact, they wanted to force Young-gun to hide what had just happened. Captain Jang turned off the camera to avoid this being exposed, but Young-gun was not someone who could be easily bullied. Young-gun immediately restrained Seok-hoon. Captain Jang had to send another police officer to rescue his subordinate. Now, Chief Do Chi-won of the supervisory board appeared. Chief Do was accompanied by his subordinate, Ju So-jun. Chief Do said he wanted to take Young-gun away. Otherwise, he would investigate the police's actions in fighting with the suspect and the fact that the camera in the room was turned off during the interrogation. If everyone found out that this was a forced confession, Captain Jang's career would also be affected. Captain Jang had no choice but to let Chief Do take Young-gun away. Moreover, the investigation of the police who committed crimes should also be handled by the supervisory board. Then Chief Do took Young-gun to the supervisory board's room, which was an abandoned police physical training room. After that, everyone rearranged it into the supervisory board's office. The members here were only Chief Do and So-jun. Originally, the work of these two people was extremely discriminated against by the other police officers. Many people were worried and wary of them. Some even hated the members of the supervisory board. At this time, Chief Do asked Young-gun why Young-gun was arrested and taken to the police station. Young-gun saw the serious expression of Chief Do, so he honestly told him everything. After listening, Chief Do had many doubts, so he decided to go to the deputy minister's office. Chief Do asked to investigate Captain Jang of the investigation board. Hearing this, the deputy minister was extremely surprised, because Captain Jang was the most outstanding police officer in the department. Captain Jang had personally arrested Chairman Kim Sang-jon of the CH Construction Group. Kim Sang-jon was a tycoon with crimes such as corruption and bribery, but no police officer was able to arrest him. Only Captain Jang dared to arrest Kim Sang-jon. Thanks to that incident, Captain Jang became famous, and he was even personally invited by the president to attend the inauguration ceremony. Captain Jang's relationship was extremely unpredictable, but the task of the supervisory board is to find police officers who violate professional principles, so Chief Do wants to investigate all of Captain Jang's improper relationships. Chief Do takes out the photo of Captain Jang with Chairman Kim. Chief Do suspects that the arrest of Chairman Kim was also staged by these two people, because not long after Chairman Kim was arrested, he was released due to insufficient evidence to convict him. The deputy minister sees Chief Do's resolute attitude, so the deputy minister has no choice but to agree to his proposal. At the same time, the deputy minister reminds Chief Do to be very careful, because what he does is also related to the honor of the police. In the evening, Chief Do sends So-jun to Hyung-min's hospital room. So-jun installs a surveillance camera here to see if anyone comes to look for Hong-min, and Chief Do will go to Hong-min's house to investigate. Chief Do accidentally discovers that Captain Jong and Seo-kun also come to this house. Chief Do took a camera to take pictures of the two of them as evidence. A while later, Jong-gon also arrived. Chief Do saw Jong-gon secretly attach something under Captain Jang's car. Then Jong-gon also went into Hyung-min's house. Chief Do carefully took a camera to take pictures. Inside the house, Seo-kun asked the nanny to let him see Hyung-min's daughter, but the nanny said that she was asleep. The nanny wanted to take out her phone to call someone, but Seo-kun stopped her. Just as Hyung-min's daughter was coming down from upstairs to drink water, she was held back by Captain Jang to ask her something. However, no matter what Captain Jang asked, she remained silent. Luckily, Jong-gon came to the rescue. The nanny was also hired by Jong-gon to take care of Hyung-min's daughter. Jong-gon wanted the two policemen to go outside to talk, so that Jong-gon wouldn't be suspicious. They had to follow. Seo-kun saw Jong-gon constantly hindering his work, so he couldn't help but rush in and beat Jong-gon. But Seo-kun couldn't do anything to Jong-gon. Suddenly, Chief Do appeared, and the two stopped fighting. Chief Do pretended to say that he was called by Jong-gon to take the statement of Hyung-min's daughter. Captain Jong heard that and had to lead Seo-kun away. Then Chief Do also led Jong-gon to another place to talk. Chief Do recounted the investigation process about Hyung-min. Chief Do discovered that Hyung-min was a close subordinate of Chairman Kim. Hyung-min was also the person who exchanged information between Chairman Kim and Captain Jang. Jong-gon showed that he didn't care about these things. He just wanted to make amends with the person he shot. Jong-gon turned around and left, but Chief Do wanted Jong-gon to give him the thing he attached to Captain Jang's car. It turned out to be a GPS tracker. Based on that, Chief Do judged that Captain Jang was on his way to the hospital where Hyung-min was lying. Jong-gon was worried about Hyung-min, so he wanted to go to the hospital with Chief Do immediately. When he arrived, Jong-gon found Seo-kun just leaving Hyung-min's hospital room. Jong-gon asked Seo-kun what he did, but Seo-kun just smiled and said that he went to meet the suspect of a kidnapping case. Jong-gon wanted to know more, but Seo-kun didn't say anything. Chief Do told Jong-gon to let Seo-kun go. Jong-gon had no choice but to obey. Then, the two went to Hyung-min's hospital room. Here Chief Do met an old acquaintance, Lawyer Han. Lawyer Han used to be a prosecutor. Lawyer Han was asked to bail Hyung-min out. She chased a few people out so Hyung-min could rest. Jong-gon wondered what happened to Hyung-min, that he had to invite a bail lawyer. Lawyer Han told them that Hyung-min was guilty of kidnapping the son of Chairman Kim of CH Construction Group, and Hyung-min even admitted that the police had ordered him to. This made everyone extremely surprised. The kidnapping happened 3 days ago, but Chairman Kim did not let anyone report to the police. Chairman Kim even personally asked Lawyer Han to bail Hyung-min out. In fact, Chairman Kim wanted to ask her to investigate where his son was. Chairman Kim did not want the police to make a big deal out of it because he was afraid that Hyung-min would harm his son. However, until now, Lawyer Han still had no clue about the boy's location. After listening, Chief Do asked Jong-gon to stay at the hospital to watch Hyung-min. Then he took So-jun with him. He asked So-jun to compare the DNA in the children's shoe found in Hyung-min's car with Chairman Kim's DNA to see if Chairman Kim's son was really kidnapped as Lawyer Han said. Then Chief Do went to where Seo-jun kept the computer. When Chief Do looked at the surveillance camera that Seo-jun installed in Hyung-min's hospital room, he saw Jong-gon enter the hospital room and ask Hyung-min about the location of Chairman Kim's son. Hyung-min whispered something into Jong-gon's ear, making him angry. Lawyer Han saw that Jong-gon was about to punch the patient, so she immediately brought in a bodyguard to stop him and asked Jong-gon to go out. Now Hyung-min had something to say to Lawyer Han, but she carefully checked the room. Lawyer Han discovered the surveillance camera that Seo-jun had installed earlier. Lawyer Han immediately knew that this was Chief Do's trick, so she asked him to stop this eavesdropping. Chief Do had no choice but to comply. Then Chief Do called Jong-gon to come to his place. A moment later, Jong-gon arrived. When Jong-gon saw the surveillance camera installed in Hyung-min's room, he was extremely surprised. It turned out that Chief Do had left him there to keep watch on purpose, because Chief Do knew for sure that Jong-gon would go inside and he would use Hyung-min's daughter to ask for clues about Chairman Kim's son. But in the end, Jong-gon couldn't find anything out. Now Jong-gon wanted to listen to Lawyer Han's conversation with Hyung-min, but Lawyer Han didn't trust Chief Do, so she installed an anti-eavesdropping device in the room. Chief Do was no stranger to Lawyer Han's tricks. She was an extremely scheming person. Because Lawyer Han intervened in this matter, Chief Do had quite a headache. The next day, Chief Do took Lawyer Han to meet the deputy minister. Lawyer Han came to state Hyung-min's request. It turned out that Hyung-min had agreed to reveal the location of Chairman Kim's son, but Hyung-min wanted to go with him, because according to Hyung-min, the kidnapping was directed by the police, so he couldn't trust them anymore. The vice minister agreed to follow Lawyer Han's words. He only sent Section Chief Do to go with her to prevent Hyung-min from escaping. Lawyer Han also had no opinion. After that, everyone went to the hospital together. They prepared to take Hyung-min to find Chairman Kim's son. Section Chief Do gave Hyung-min electronic leg cuffs. This was to prevent him from escaping. When getting in the car, Section Chief Do carefully handcuffed Hyung-min's hands as well. Jong-gon followed and was in charge of driving. Seo-jun was in the office of the supervisory board to monitor everyone's movements. At the same time, she checked every action of team leader Jong. Seo-jun informed Section Chief Do that team leader Jong had returned to the police station. However, the GPS that Jong-gon had attached to his car was following right behind Section Chief Do's car. It was certain that Seo-kun was following them. For the time being, Section Chief Do could not guess what Seo-kun's purpose was, so he decided not to stop him. The group went to a deserted road, and suddenly their car was hit by a truck. Then a black car appeared. A group of masked men got out and cut the handcuffs to lead Hyung-min away. Team leader Do quickly pulled the mask off the leader. Unexpectedly, that person was Chairman Kim. Chairman Kim and his subordinates forced Hyung-min into the car and left. Team leader Do and Jong-gon chased after him but couldn't catch up. Chairman Kim contacted Seo-jun to ask him to check the location of the electronic handcuffs, but it had been cut and thrown on the street, so the signal was lost. Team leader Do had to ask Seo-jun to check the location of Chairman Kim's phone. Suddenly, the voice of Captain Jang rang out on the other end of the line. Captain Jang asked Seo-jun to help. Team leader Do knew that everything was Captain Jang's trick, so he didn't bother to say anything more and hung up. After Captain Jang left, Seo-jun located Chairman Kim's phone and reported it to Chief Do. Chief Do immediately told Jong-gon to leave. Lawyer Han was injured, so she didn't follow anymore. She stayed behind to wait for someone to pick her up and take her to the hospital. Chief Do and Jong-gon had to drive the crashed car to save the person. At this time, Hyung-min was taken to an abandoned construction site. The thugs tied Hyung-min's hands and feet for Chairman Kim to deal with. Chairman Kim threatened Hyung-min with a saw, forcing Chairman Kim to reveal the location of Mr. Kim's son, but Hyung-min knew that even if he was honest, Chairman Kim would not forgive him, so Hyung-min refused to reveal anything. Chairman Kim angrily hit Hyung-min. Next, Chairman Kim changed weapons to force Hyung-min to confess. Suddenly, Chairman Kim received a call from Lawyer Han. She said that he had violated the contract, so she didn't want to continue cooperating. Lawyer Han, out of respect, informed Chairman Kim that Seo-kun was coming to him under orders from Captain Jang. As soon as he finished speaking, Lawyer Han immediately heard gunshots. Everything happened exactly as she predicted. Seo-kun arrived and shot Chairman Kim directly. Lawyer Han turned on the speakerphone to see what Seo-kun and Chairman Kim were talking about. On this side, Jong-gon heard gunshots, so he quickly ran to Chairman Kim. Chairman Kim was kneeling at Seo-kun's feet begging, but he was not begging for himself, but for his missing son. This reminded Jong-gon of a painful memory. When Jong-gon was a child, he had to witness his mother kneeling in a pool of blood. Even though she was about to die, Jong-gon's mother still begged the murderer not to harm Jong-gon. Back to reality, Seo-kun coldly kicked Chairman Kim aside. Seo-kun went to deal with Hyung-min first. Seo-kun took out a pair of pliers, cut off Hyung-min's finger, and asked where did human evolution begin? This sentence accidentally startled Lawyer Han and made her drop her phone. Because she had been kidnapped and assaulted before, the kidnapper also said the same thing. Lawyer Han was scared and had hallucinations. She saw a lot of blood on her hand. She didn't dare to pick up the phone to continue listening. Jong-gon was also distracted by the past. He had not fired a shot to stop Seo-kun. At this time, Chief Do came and shouted loudly for Seo-kun to stop, but Seo-kun did not listen and even fired a shot in resistance. Then, Seo-kun shot Hyung-min straight in the heart. Chief Do let Seo-kun escape. Chief Do and Jong-gon ran to check. Chairman Kim was unconscious on the ground, and Hyung-min was seriously injured. Hyung-min knew he wouldn't survive, so he told Jong-gon one thing. Hyung-min asked Jong-gon to save Chairman Kim's son, who was locked in the basement of Hyung-min's old house in the countryside. At the same time, Hyung-min also entrusted her daughter to Jong-gon. Hyung-min asked Jong-gon to tell her the father's final apology. After denying, Hyung-min also left this world forever. Chief Do called an ambulance, but it was too late. Chief Do immediately issued a warrant for Seo-kun's arrest. Later, the police arrived at the scene to handle everything, and then Chief Do and Jong-gon were relieved to leave. They wanted to go to Hyung-min's house in the countryside to find Chairman Kim's son. In the evening, when the two of them went to the house, they unexpectedly met Lawyer Han there. The two wondered why she knew the way to come here. Lawyer Han didn't have time to explain. She wanted to find Chairman Kim's son first. The three of them went inside together to search. Lawyer Han also admitted that she eavesdropped on Jong-gon's conversation with Hyung-min. Later, the three discovered a locked warehouse. Jong-gon used an iron bar to break the door. Inside, Jong-gon discovered a hatch. Jong-gon pried open the hatch. Inside was Chairman Kim's son lying there. Everyone rushed the boy to the hospital. After arriving, Chief Do called Seo-jun to inform him that Chairman Kim's son was safe. Seo-jun also told him that Chairman Kim was lucky to be alive, but Hyung-min could not survive. However, Seo-jun still had one question. She did not know where Hyung-min hid the ransom money for Chairman Kim's son. Chief Do speculated that Hyung-min probably kept it somewhere, so that he could later give it to his daughter. Chief Do asked Seo-jun to investigate the accounts of Hyung-min and those close to him. Maybe they would find some clues about that money. After the message, Chief Do returned to the hospital room. He came here to check on Chairman Kim's son. Chief Do saw Jong-gon thinking about something. Then suddenly Jong-gon stood up and left. Then Jong-gon ran to the house alone. Jong-gon discovered Seo-kun threatening Hyung-min's daughter. Jong-gon carefully approached with a gun, but was discovered by Seo-kun. Seo-kun took the girl hostage and forced Jong-gon to put down the gun. Through Seo-kun's words, Jong-gon knew that the plan to kidnap Chairman Kim's son was made by Seo-kun and Hyung-min. Their purpose was to demand a huge ransom, but after Hyung-min got the money, he took it all and ran away, which led to the recent events. Seo-kun angrily shot Jong-gon, but the gun ran out of bullets. Jong-gon immediately rushed to control Seo-kun. Jong-gon was knocked to the ground. Then he was kicked in the stomach several times by him. When Jong-gon saw Seo-kun about to approach where Hyung-min's daughter was hiding, Jong-gon pulled his leg back and urged her to run out quickly. Unfortunately, Seo-kun got hold of the gun. Seo-kun used the gun to hit Jong-gon's head, causing him to bleed. Seo-kun saw Jong-gon still trying to resist, so he intended to use the gun to shoot Jong-gon dead. But unexpectedly, Seo-kun was shot and fell to the ground by someone. Unexpectedly, the person who fired the gun was Captain Jang. He personally killed his close subordinate and then abandoned all responsibility. But Jong-gon was not an easy person to fool. Jong-gon knew that Captain Jang was trying to hide his crimes, so Jong-gon decided not to compromise with him. Jong-gon went out to find Hyung-min's daughter. Now the girl told Jong-gon where her father hid the money, because Hyung-min told his daughter that if anything happened to him, she could only trust Jong-gon. Because Jong-gon was a good policeman, after Jong-gon got the information from the girl, he immediately led Chief Do back to Hyung-min's house in the countryside. The two searched together and discovered a hollow wall. Jong-gon broke it open and found a bag of money hidden inside. The two sat down to discuss what to do with the money. Chief Do suggested that Jong-gon go ask Lawyer Han. Perhaps Hyung-min had told her how to handle the money. The next day, Chief Do went to the hospital to see Chairman Kim. Chief Do wanted to investigate the person behind the kidnapping, but Chairman Kim was afraid that his son would continue to be in danger, so he decided to keep quiet. Chairman Kim wanted to take care of Hyung-min's daughter as a thank you, because in the end, Hyung-min still did not attack Chairman Kim's son. Chairman Kim also knew that the kidnapping was not masterminded by Hyung-min, but that someone had ordered him to do so. Chief Do wanted to ask more questions, but Chairman Kim did not want to say anything more. On the other side, Jong-gon went to Captain Jang. Jong-gon took a picture of him and his daughter as a warning. Captain Jang is also a father, so he must understand how important other people's children are. Jong-gon declared that Jong-gon would expose him crimes. From now on, Jong-gon will go to the supervisory board to work. Captain Jang talked about the case of Chief Do arresting Jong-gon's father. Captain Jang reminded Jong-gon not to work for the supervisory board, but Jong-gon didn't care. Only policemen who dare to protect justice like him are qualified to go to the supervisory board to work. At this time, Chief Do was being praised by the deputy minister for his achievements after the recent case. The deputy minister proposed to change the name of the supervisory board to the anti-corruption team. At the same time, the deputy minister introduced Chief Do to an advisor. However, when Chief Do knew that the advisor was Lawyer Han, he couldn't refuse, so he had to let her be his advisor. After that, the two of them went to the supervisory board's office together. Here, Chief Do asked Lawyer Han's real purpose. She took off the ring on her finger to reveal the mark. She said that this mark was made by a policeman. Only the supervisory board could help Lawyer Han approach that person. At this moment, Seo-jun brought Jong-gon to work. 4 different people but with the same idea. Together, they created a supervisory board specializing in catching bad policemen. 7 years ago, when Lawyer Han was still a prosecutor, a stranger broke into her house, knocked her out, and took her hostage. He questioned her about the evidence of the case that Lawyer Han was investigating. He used pliers to clamp her thumb, creating the mark that still exists today. Just when Lawyer Han's husband returned, the stranger immediately started beating him. Remembering this, Lawyer Han woke up. It turned out that she was receiving psychological treatment from a close friend. Until now, the haunting memories of the past still appear in her mind. After leaving the clinic, Lawyer Han received a phone call. The girl wearing a hospital gown was in the hospital asking for Lawyer Han's help, saying that something bad was about to happen to her. However, this was not the first time Lee Chon called Lawyer Han to inform him of that. Lawyer Han did not believe it, but Lee Chon was extremely certain, because this time there was also a prosecutor in the hospital. Lawyer Han had to ask the bodyguard to drive there. When she arrived, she contacted Lee Chon again, but could not get through. Unexpectedly, Lee Chon escaped the bodyguards and ran over. Because Lawyer Han was there, the bodyguards did not dare to act rashly. Lawyer Han led Lee Chon outside to talk. It turned out that Lawyer Han still did not believe that Lee Chon would be in danger. Lawyer Han only came here to ask about the prosecutor that Lee Chon mentioned. At this moment, Prosecutor Hwang In appeared in front of her. Hwang In and Lawyer Han are old acquaintances in the prosecutor's office. Unexpectedly, Hwang In is also Lee Chon's brother-in-law. Through Hwang In's words, Lawyer Han knew that Lee Chon was about to donate a kidney to save Lee Chon's husband. Lee Chon's husband is Hwang In's brother, but it seems that Lee Chon did not volunteer. Hwang In lied that his sister-in-law wanted to sacrifice herself for her brother. Lawyer Han is not a child to be fooled by Hwang In. Now, Lawyer Han is wondering about the case of a stranger breaking into his house 7 years ago. That case was also handled by Hwang In. Hwang In concluded that the person was just a petty thief with 2 previous convictions, which made Lawyer Han unable to believe it. No petty thief broke into the house and restrained both Lawyer Han and her husband. After that, Hwang In forced her to hand over the evidence of the case under investigation, and he did not take anything from the house. Hwang In still insisted that the results of his investigation were completely accurate. Lawyer Han then asked his best friend to ask his acquaintances in the hospital. Lawyer Han wanted to know who was the kidney donor consultant for Lee Chon. As soon as he hung up, Lawyer Han accidentally saw the news that Captain Jang's investigation team had just broken up an illegal organ trafficking ring. The criminals took advantage of the situation where a family member donated organs to reduce all the procedures and paperwork involved. Then they directly led the person to undergo surgery. This method was very sophisticated and organized, but in the end, the criminals were still caught by the investigation team. This achievement made people trust the police even more. Huang Yin was also in charge of the case. Suddenly, Lawyer Han received a call from her best friend. She found the kidney donor consultant for Li Chon. That person was a broker named Kim. He was involved in the organ trafficking ring that had just been caught, but it was not known whether this person had any relationship with Li Chon's husband. The close friend told Lawyer Han that Li Chon's husband had received kidney donations twice, but neither of them were successful. After hearing this, Lawyer Han became suspicious. Perhaps Li Chon's husband was also involved in the organ trafficking ring. Lawyer Han immediately called the supervisory board. Lawyer Han asked the police to investigate the financial relationship between three people: Huang Yin, Li Chon's husband, and broker Kim. At the same time, Lawyer Han asked Zhang Gan to go to the hospital for help. They had to rescue Li Chon to take her statement. Later, Zhang Gan appeared at the hospital. Lawyer Han sent bodyguards to accompany Zhang Gan to Li Chon's hospital room. When Zhang Gan saw her preparing for surgery, he immediately pulled Li Chon out, but the bodyguards stopped Zhang Gan. Zhang Gan claimed to be a police officer who came to arrest the suspect, but the bodyguards did not believe him. They asked for an arrest warrant. Zhang Gan made a mess of the hospital so that Lawyer Han could take Li Chon and escape first. The bodyguards found out that Li Chon had disappeared and immediately wanted to chase after her, but Zhang Gan told Lawyer Han's bodyguard to stop them. After a while, everyone returned to the police station. Chief Du and Lawyer Han went to the deputy minister. Chief Du requested to investigate the illegal organ trafficking case, because this was originally the task of the investigation committee, not the supervisory committee. Chief Du gave the excuse that there were policemen and prosecutors who took bribes from organ traffickers, so the deputy minister had no choice but to agree to let the supervisory committee investigate this case. On the other side, So Jun was interrogating Li Chon, but she refused to say anything. Zhang Gan replaced So Jun in the interrogation. Zhang Gan directly threatened to imprison Li Chon for resisting a law enforcement officer, and currently Li Chon is also in a non-custodial reform program because she grew poppies in her house. However, Zhang Gan's threat did not make Li Chon afraid, because Li Chon was being protected by Lawyer Han. At this moment, Lawyer Han and head of the department Du returned. Lawyer Han saw Zhang Gan being fierce with Li Chon, so she had to go into the interrogation room instead of him. Li Chon was ready to tell everything to Lawyer Han. It turned out that Li Chon was the one who proactively contacted the organ traffickers because she wanted to sell a kidney for money. In Korea, marriage and divorce are very easy. Moreover, Li Chon had Huang Yin ask for help from an acquaintance, so Li Chon quickly completed the procedures and became the wife of Huang Yin's brother. Li Chon took advantage of her status as a relative of the patient, so Li Chon was exempted from all the complicated inspection procedures. After that, Li Chon directly went to donate a kidney to her husband. In other words, she sold the kidney. But then Li Chon discovered that this trafficking ring was not safe. The broker named Kim was an extremely dangerous person. He often said that he would take patients abroad for surgery, then he would rob them of their money and take out all their organs. Li Chon decided not to do business with those people anymore. After listening, Lawyer Han advised Li Chon to testify to help the police catch this ring. After a while of persuasion, Li Chon agreed. After the interrogation, the supervisory board held a closed meeting. Li Chon's testimony alone was not enough to solve the case. They could not hold the masterminds accountable. At the same time, the police and prosecutors were also involved in this case. The case of Captain Zhang catching the organ traffickers was also staged. Captain Zhang took advantage of that to deceive his superiors and the public. Everyone agreed with this point of view. Lawyer Han predicted that there would be new evidence soon. As soon as he finished speaking, Lawyer Han received a call from Huang Yin. Through the surveillance camera in the parking garage, Huang Yin discovered that Lawyer Han was the one who took Li Chon away. Huang Yin asked Lawyer Han to return the person, but Lawyer Han pretended not to know anything and hung up. Lawyer Han wanted to make Huang Yin worry before calling back. She wanted to wait for him to be careless and reveal clues. Now everyone had only one worry, which was how to protect Li Chon. Lawyer Han led Li Chon to the car so that the bodyguard could take her to a safe place, but Zhang Gan felt uneasy. Zhang Gan was afraid that without the bodyguard, Lawyer Han would be in danger. Zhang Gan decided to take Lawyer Han home. When they arrived, Zhang Gan was invited by Lawyer Han to come in and play. Lawyer Han went in first to make tea for Zhang Gan. Suddenly, Zhang Gan received a call from Chief Du. Chief Du found an unusual number calling Li Chon. Through GPS, he discovered that the number was near Lawyer Han's house, Zhonggan immediately realized that something was wrong. Zhonggan told Chief Do to quickly go to Zhonggan's place, then he ran to Lawyer Han's place to check. Zhonggan saw a man wearing glasses controlling Lawyer Han, and a bald man standing in the corner of the room. The man wearing glasses claimed to be a broker named Kim. He used Lawyer Han to threaten Zhonggan, forcing him to show him Li Chan's location. Zhonggan asked the man wearing glasses to bring the money first, then he would hand Li Chan over to them. The man wearing glasses angrily rushed forward and stabbed Zhonggan. Lawyer Han quickly took out a stun gun from her pocket and threatened him, forcing the man wearing glasses to let him go and leave immediately. If he wanted to see Li Chan, he had to do as Zhonggan said, which was to bring the money. The man wearing glasses agreed. He left his phone to contact Lawyer Han, then he and the bald man left. Luckily, Zhonggan had prepared a cup under his shirt early, so he was only slightly injured. Later, Section Chief Do and So Jun arrived. Lawyer Han asked them to take Zhonggan to the hospital, and she would go find the mastermind behind the incident. Then Zhonggan was taken away, but Zhonggan didn't want to go to the hospital and wanted to go home. Chief Do followed Zhonggan's request. When they arrived, Chief Do wanted to go into Zhonggan's house for a while. This reminded Chief Do of the time when the case happened 15 years ago. It was in this house that Chief Do discovered Zhonggan's mother had been murdered. Luckily, Chief Do found the boy Zhonggan alive, hiding in the bathroom. Zhonggan was also grateful that Chief Do had saved him that day. However, Chief Do was still haunted by the fact that the suspect in the case was Zhonggan's father, who was also Chief Do's close colleague. On the other side, Lawyer Han went to see Huang In because she knew he sent the man with glasses to her house. Huang In still asked Lawyer Han to hand over Li Chan. Lawyer Han also kept his old request. If he gave money, Lawyer Han would return the person. Huang In knew that Lawyer Han's real purpose was not money. She wanted to know who killed her husband at home 7 years ago. Huang In still lied that it was an accident. Lawyer Han had nothing more to negotiate. Lawyer Han wrote the amount of money on the table and left. Then Lawyer Han went to Zhonggan's house and asked Chief Do about Zhonggan's health. Chief Do told Lawyer Han to check himself, but she knew Zhonggan was fine. Lawyer Han wanted to discuss something else with Chief Do. Chief Do let Lawyer Han get in the car to talk, but this scene was accidentally caught by Zhonggan. Zhonggan suspected that these two were hiding something from him. The next day, Chief Do went to see the Vice Minister. Chief Do requested to combine the Supervisory Board with the Investigation Board in this organ trafficking case because it involved people from the prosecution office. Chief Do could not bear the responsibility alone. The Deputy Minister was very happy to hear that. He did not expect that Chief Do would cooperate with Captain Zhang. Then the Deputy Minister invited Captain Zhang to talk about the cooperation proposal. The Deputy Minister asked Captain Zhang to shake hands with Chief Do. When Captain Zhang and Chief Do left the Deputy Minister's room, Captain Zhang asked what Chief Do's purpose was. Chief Do said that he just wanted the two teams to cooperate in the investigation, but a scheming person like Captain Zhang could not believe it. He ignored Chief Do and left. At this time, Zhonggan received orders from Chief Do and went to the place where the organ traders were. Following Zhonggo were the cars of Chief Do and Captain Zhang. When they arrived, Zhonggan directly rushed into the room of the bespectacled man. Zhonggan told him to call Wang In to confirm. Zhonggan wanted to know if Wang In had brought the money to Lawyer Han to exchange for Li Chan. On the other side, Wang In went to Lawyer Han's house, bringing the money she had asked for earlier in exchange for Li Chan. Suddenly, the phone that the bespectacled man left behind the day before rang. He wanted to confirm whether Lawyer Han had received the money. She told Wang In to directly answer his teammates. But Wang In asked Li Chan, "What does Lawyer Han want to do in the end?" Unexpectedly, Li Chan revealed Lawyer Han's entire plan. Lawyer Han wanted to eavesdrop on Wang In's phone call with the bespectacled man. She wanted to use it as evidence to arrest Wang In. So Jun and the bodyguards were also lying in wait outside. However, the plan was completely ruined by Li Chan. Li Chan was a person who did not keep her promises. She was willing to betray Lawyer Han's kindness for money. This left Lawyer Han speechless. Wang In smashed the phone and stood up. Wang In called someone to come and arrest the bespectacled man. The police knew about the exchange between them, so they couldn't let the bespectacled man be taken away by them. After hanging up, Wang In said that Lawyer Han was ruining his good work. In fact, this wasn't just a normal organ trafficking case, it was also related to an international organization. Huang In asked to cooperate with Li Chan to find the mastermind of the organization. When everything went well, Huang In would make a contribution and get promoted. But no matter how Huang In explained, Lawyer Han couldn't believe him right away. Huang In led Li Chan away first. Outside, Huang In reprimanded Li Chan for reporting to the police, ruining the plan that Huang In had prepared. Li Chan didn't show any remorse, because her goal was money, but Li Chan also had to save her life. If Li Chan followed Huang In's plan, it would be too dangerous. If Huang In didn't arrive in time and Li Chan had his kidney removed, then there would be no other way but death. Huang In also couldn't talk to Li Chan. At this time, a group of cars pulled up to the bespectacled man. The men in black didn't say anything and wanted to rush in to arrest him, but they were stopped by the subordinates here, and so the two sides rushed into a fierce fight. In Zhang Gan's room, he saw something was wrong, so he wanted to arrest the bespectacled man. But Zhang Gan was stabbed by the bald man with a knife. The bespectacled man took advantage of the chaos and quickly escaped. Zhang Gan tried to pull out the knife and then knocked the bald man down. Zhang Gan picked up his gun. Luckily, he had a cushion prepared, so Zhang Gan wasn't injured. Suddenly, two men in black came in. Zhang Gan said he was a policeman who came to arrest the criminal. Zhang Gan handed the bald man over to the other two to deal with, and he wanted to chase after the bespectacled man. Now Chief Du couldn't sit still anymore. Chief Do asked the police to immediately stop the fight. Captain Zhang led people in. They opened the way for Chief Du to run inside. Chief Do discovered that the bespectacled man was running away, so he hurriedly chased after him. Zhang Gan also ran after him. When they reached a small alley, Chief Do discovered that the bespectacled man was trying to climb the wall. Chief Do pointed his gun and threatened him, forcing him to go down to Chief Do. Suddenly, Chief Do received a call from Zhang Gan. He informed him that the men in black were from the prosecution. If Chief Do brought the bespectacled man back, the prosecutors would immediately take him away. Zhang Gan advised Chief Du to let the bespectacled man go first, and then arrest him later, so that the police would have a chance to take his statement. If the prosecutor arrested the bespectacled man now, all clues to the organ trafficking case would be lost, and the police would not be able to find the real mastermind. Chief Do thought Zhang Gan's words were reasonable, so he decided to let the bespectacled man go. The bespectacled man didn't understand anything, but he quickly escaped. But the glasses man's actions were accidentally seen by Zhang Gan. Zhang Gan immediately followed the glasses man. Later, the glasses man hid in the bathroom and called Huang In. He knew that Huang In had betrayed him. Unexpectedly, Huang In directly admitted it, which made the glasses man furious. The glasses man threatened to tell the police everything, but Huang In was not afraid. Huang In even dared the glasses man to do whatever he wanted. After saying that, Huang In hung up. The glasses man wanted Huang In to be punished. The glasses man was about to call someone when he was suddenly strangled from behind. The assassin was hiding in the bathroom next door. The glasses man struggled and then died. Outside, Zhang Gan was still waiting for the glasses man, but he didn't understand why he was taking so long to go to the bathroom. Zhang Gan called Sojun for help. Sojun happened to be nearby. Then Zhang Gan went to the bathroom to check first. But Zhang Gan discovered that the man with glasses had no signs of life, which made Zhang Gan helplessly shake his head. When Zhang Gan was about to pick up the phone that the man with glasses had dropped, Zhang Gan was suddenly hit hard. The assassin snatched the phone back from the man with glasses. Then the assassin pointed his gun and was about to shoot Zhang Gan. Luckily, Sojun rushed in and the assassin left. Then Sojun brought the body of the man with glasses to the forensic room. Sojun also called Lawyer Han to check. Forensic doctor concluded that the victim died from strangulation. In addition, other injuries appeared after the victim died. Lawyer Han found this way of killing too normal. She was about to leave when Zhang Gan suddenly rushed in and wanted to check the victim's belongings. Zhang Gan wanted to find the man with glasses' phone, but it had been taken by the assassin. Zhang Gan told everyone that the killer was also a policeman, because the gun he used was only allowed to be used by police. Hearing this, Lawyer Han became suspicious. She wanted to check the victim's other injuries. Lawyer Han discovered that the finger of the man wearing glasses was cut off, which was similar to the method used by the stranger who broke into her house 7 years ago. Lawyer Han determined that the killer this time and the intruder back then were related, but unexpectedly, the two people were both within the police. On the other side, the vice minister was being pressured by Huang Yin. Huang Yin said that the police had ruined the prosecutor's big plan. The man wearing glasses was killed. The prosecutor's side lost an important clue about the international organ trafficking ring. Huang Yin asked the vice minister to give her an explanation. However, the vice minister knew Huang Yin's purpose, which was to force the police to stop investigating the case. The vice minister agreed to give Huang Yin a satisfactory answer. Then the vice minister called Chief Du to meet privately. The vice minister recounted the story of Huang Yin's recent pressure. The vice minister wanted Chief Du to publicly end the organ trafficking case. Because Chief Du did not want the deputy minister to be in a difficult position, he had no choice but to follow the deputy minister's words. Later, Chief Du returned to the supervision department and conveyed the deputy minister's words to everyone. Everyone was surprised when they heard it because Chief Du agreed to end the unfinished case like that. But Chief Du was also helpless because Chief Du did not have any more useful clues. Moreover, Chief Du was also afraid that the prosecutor would continue to put pressure on the deputy minister, so the police had to temporarily stop investigating the organ trafficking case. They had to move on to another case. Only then did Zhang Gan speak up. Actually, it was not that this case had no clues. As long as the police could find the bespectacled man's phone, they would know who he called before he died. But the phone had definitely been taken by the killer. Lawyer Han took out the phone that the bespectacled man had left at his house the day before. Among them was the number of the bespectacled man who called on the day Huang Yin came to take Li Chon away. As long as the police investigated this phone number, they would know who the bespectacled man had called. Chief Du agreed to let everyone continue the investigation. However, they had to be extremely careful and keep it a secret. Any mistake could cause the monitoring team to be disbanded. The next day, the information department brought the call history found from the bespectacled man's number. Before he died, the bespectacled man called a number in the Philippines. Chief Du bravely tried calling that number. Unexpectedly, the person who answered said he was a South Korean police officer. This made everyone confused. Then Chief Du brought Zhang Gan to ask for help from Captain Zhang. The two wanted to get the evidence collected from the organ trafficking den yesterday. Captain Zhang's subordinate prepared to hand it over to the prosecutor's office, but this person was taken away by Chief Du. Huang Yin was angry when he saw this and left. In the car, Captain Zhang wondered what was in the evidence suitcase. Captain Zhang was about to open it to see when Chief Du immediately chased him out of the car, but Captain Zhang reminded Chief Du of an agreement between the two. After Captain Zhang got out of the car, Zhang Gan asked Chief Du what agreement he had with Captain Zhang to make a scheming person like Captain Zhang help him. Chief Du said that this was not something Zhang Gan should know. After the two brought the evidence suitcase back to the office, Chief Du opened it to see. Inside was a knife and a bloody shirt. Everyone took it for a DNA test. From the national database, the supervisory board confirmed that it was the blood of Li Chan's husband's illegitimate son. Through investigation, everyone discovered that the young man was living and working in the Philippines. Li Chan's husband still sent monthly allowances there. But if the son was murdered, who would receive the money? Everyone suspected that Huang Yin had taken it. Lawyer Han came up with a way to force Huang Yin to reveal her true nature. Lawyer Han called her friend in the Philippines and asked her to make fake documents for someone to pretend to be Li Chan's husband's son. Lawyer Han then let that person return to the country as soon as possible. The next day, Huang Yin went to the hospital to visit Li Chan's husband. Huang Yin wished him a successful surgery. Li Chan's husband was overjoyed that after the surgery he would be able to see his son. He showed Huang Yin the news that his son was about to return to the country. This made Huang Yin, Li Chan, and the husband's secretary all change their expressions. After Li Chan's husband was taken to the surgery by the doctors, Li Chan asked Huang Yin if the son returned to the country, their plan would be ruined. Huang Yin told Li Chan to rest assured and go for the kidney transplant surgery. He would handle the rest. Then Li Chan's husband's secretary dragged Huang Yin out into the hallway. Unexpectedly, the secretary was also an accomplice of Huang Yin and Li Chan. The three of them wanted to seize Li Chan's husband's huge fortune together. They wanted to set up the upcoming surgery to fail. In fact, Li Chan's kidney was incompatible with her husband. As long as he and his son died, the only legal heir would be Lee Chan. But now suddenly the surviving son was about to return. Huang Yin confirmed that he had sent someone to secretly deal with the son abroad. The secretary didn't believe it and wanted to go to the airport to confirm. The conversation between the two bad guys was overheard by So Jun. So Jun returned to prepare a plan. At this time, the secretary was at the airport. When he saw Lee Chon's husband's son, he called back to report. Huang Yin told the secretary to secretly kill the son. Then he staged it as a robbery. Then the masked secretary stole the hotel room key. Then he broke into Lee Chon's husband's son's room. But the person waiting for him here was So Jun. The secretary was angry when he knew he had fallen into the police's trap. So Jun quickly fired a stun gun, causing the secretary to fall to the ground. Then, Chief Du came over and gave So Jun handcuffs so she could take the secretary to the police station. On the other side, Lawyer Han went to Huang Yin and exposed his entire plan. Lee Chan agreed to sacrifice herself by donating an incompatible kidney to her husband so that she could easily claim her legal inheritance later. The assets Lee Chan received would be divided among the people in the plan. But Huang Yin did not expect that Lawyer Han was more powerful than him. She admitted that Lee Chan's husband's son's return to the country was a setup by her and the supervisory board to lure Huang Yin into the trap. At first, Huang Yin did not believe it. But when So Jun informed Lawyer Han that the secretary had been arrested, Huang began to panic. At this moment, Zhang Gan rushed in, handcuffed, and tried to arrest Huang Yin. Huang Yin angrily left. Zhang Gan did not hold Huang Yin back, because according to the supervisor's plan, they wanted Huang Yin to expose the mastermind. Zhang Gan just had to follow him secretly. Huang Yin ran straight to the rooftop. He panicked and called the director of the procuracy to save him. Unexpectedly, the director also participated in this plan. But when everything was exposed, the director left Huang Yin alone and hung up the phone. Huang Yin angrily shouted, wanting to expose everything, but he suddenly realized that there was an assassin standing behind him. When Zhang Gan followed him to the place, he discovered that Huang Yin had fallen from a high floor. Zhang Gan knew that someone was playing a trick, so he wanted to go find him, but he lost track. On the other side, Lee Chan woke up in the hospital room. Lee Chan was very happy to find that her kidney had not been taken. However, someone was waiting for her outside. Lawyer Han went to inform Lee Chan that she would now be imprisoned for fraud. Lee Chan panicked and begged Lawyer Han to bail her out, but their cooperation ended after the previous betrayal. Lee Chan was dragged away by the police. Another case was handled by the supervisory board. The director and the deputy director called Chief Du to congratulate him. The director even personally gave Chief Do a bonus so that he could take his subordinates out to celebrate. But Chief Do's purpose was not that simple. Chief Du directly proposed to the director that he wanted to investigate the police department internally. The director had no choice but to sigh and accept. After leaving the room, Chief Do met Lawyer Han, who was coming. Lawyer Han wanted to personally interrogate Lee Chan's husband, but Chief Do handed him over to Captain Zhang. Chief Do did this to fulfill the original agreement between him and Captain Zhang. Lawyer Han immediately went to Captain Zhang. She asked him exactly one question: where did human evolution begin? Captain Zhang didn't know what Lawyer Han wanted, so he answered randomly to finish. Human evolution started when they had emotions. This was not the answer Lawyer Han wanted, so she had to let Captain Zhang go. On the other side, Zhang Gan was watching the videotape in the hospital hallway over and over again, but Zhang Gan still couldn't identify the murderer. Zhang Gan had to go home to rest. At this time, Zhang Gan received a letter from his father from prison. The next day, Zhang Gan went to prison to visit his father. Zhang Gan still remembered the day his mother was murdered by his father. Zhang still hated his father. After 15 years of meeting again, Zhang Man didn't ask about his son, but asked Zhang Gan to investigate a case. Zhang Man's cellmate was a safe thief. He once went to break the safe of a third-generation tycoon. That person has many crimes related to drug use and corruption, but until now that tycoon has not been arrested. After the thief went to jail, the tycoon continuously had people beat the thief. Zhang Man speculated that the thief took something from the tycoon's safe. Maybe it was a bribery black book. Zhang Man wanted his son to investigate it. Maybe this would help Zhang Gan make a great achievement. Zhang Gan did not want to listen anymore, so he stood up and left. Then Zhang Gan returned to the supervisory board and told everyone what his father told him. Chief Du also knew about the theft. However, according to the investigation, the thief did not take anything from the tycoon's house. He was arrested for driving and killing a policeman on the road while fleeing. After that accident, the thief went directly to the policeman's funeral to apologize and confess. Chief Do suspected that maybe the thief was afraid of being murdered to cover up the evidence, so he decided to be arrested and go to jail. After all, it was a little safer in jail. The supervisory board decided to reinvestigate the theft, and they also investigated what the thief had taken from the tycoon's house. Then Jong Gon and Chief Do visited the prison to meet the thief, but the warden announced that he had just had a work accident. The two wanted to go in and check the scene. Jong Gon used the name of a police officer to chase all the prisoners away to investigate. Jong Gon found the murder weapon thrown in a water tank. This was definitely an assassination. Perhaps the tycoon hired someone to do it. The two took the scissors back to the supervisory board to check. Chief Do told Jong Gon to contact the tycoon's manager. Jong Gon lied that Jong Man in prison had asked the thief for the location of the black book, and he wanted to negotiate with the tycoon through Jong Gon. The manager quickly agreed to meet. Jong Gon would decide the meeting place. The next day, So Jun pretended to be a lawyer and borrowed Han's law office as a meeting place. So Jun prepared a few things, and even installed a wiretap. As long as the tycoon admitted to bribery and that he was the mastermind behind the robbery in prison, So Jun could arrest him immediately. Later, the manager led the tycoon to the office. They directly took out a large sum of money as a deposit in exchange for the location of the black book. At the same time, the tycoon promised to take care of Jong Gon's father in prison. These words were enough evidence to accuse the tycoon of bribery. Jong Gon signaled Sojun to prepare to arrest someone. Suddenly, Chief Do called to inform him that Jong Man told him that the thief's wife was missing. Chief Do suspected that this was caused by the tycoon. Chief Do told Jong Gon not to arrest anyone for now, otherwise, a life would be in danger. Jong Gon signaled Sojun to stop. At this moment, Lawyer Han rushed in. Lawyer Han and the manager knew each other. It turned out that the manager was also a police investigator in Jong Gon's father's case. Now, he quit his job and became a manager for a conglomerate. Lawyer Han directly took out the wiretap from under the table. She silently gave it to the manager and signaled him to hide it in his shirt immediately. The conglomerate looked at the two of them in confusion. The manager asked permission to leave first. Outside, the conglomerate asked the manager what exactly Lawyer Han had given him. The manager lied that it was candy and then led the conglomerate away. In the lobby, they accidentally met Section Chief Do. Section Chief Do called the manager to him to talk. The manager sent the conglomerate away first and then followed Section Chief Do. Outside, Section Chief Do asked the manager if he had kidnapped the thief's wife. The manager acted innocent. On the other side, Jong Gon also went to the tycoon and asked the same question and made a scene, which made the tycoon angry and beat Jong Gon. Jong Gon took the opportunity to arrest him for attacking the police. The evidence was clearly recorded by Sojun. At this time, Jong Gon and Sojun went to the thief's house to investigate. They wanted to find his missing wife. Lawyer Han's bodyguard also followed to support the two. They found medicine in the house. They also saw the medicine schedule of the thief's wife, but it seemed that she had stopped taking this medicine for a while. Because the three of them wanted to know what kind of medicine this was, they went to the nearby pharmacy together to ask. Only then did they know that this was a new type of breast cancer medicine. It cost more than 4 million a course. If the user stopped taking it halfway, it would not be effective. Something must have happened to the thief's wife for her to stop taking the medicine halfway. Like that, Jong Gon and Sojun decided to go back and inform Chief Do about this. The bodyguard also called to inform Lawyer Han. At this time, Chief Do was interrogating the tycoon. Chief Do took out the photo and asked him where he was hiding the thief's wife. The tycoon refused to say. However, Chief Do knew that he was a very cowardly person. Chief Do strangled the tycoon and threatened him. Chief Do forced him to tell the location of the thief's wife. This action made the tycoon extremely scared and panicked. At this moment, Sojun opened the door and called Chief Do, so he let the tycoon go. But Chief Do still warned him that if he didn't think again, he would definitely be beaten. Outside, Jong Gon took out the cancer medicine of the thief's wife, and he told everyone what they had guessed earlier. Moreover, this was also an expensive medicine. Someone who still owed money like the thief's wife couldn't buy it. The chief guessed that she was supported by the tycoon group, but the police still had to investigate further. He thought Lawyer Han was teasing him, but Lawyer Han still insisted that he wanted to do so. The chairman agreed to pay Lawyer Han more money because he didn't want to involve the police. Lawyer Han's condition couldn't be fulfilled. At this moment, the tycoon and the manager returned. The tycoon was bailed out by the manager. The chairman saw his son and didn't want to talk to Lawyer Han anymore. They would discuss it again next time. He directly chased Lawyer Han away. Lawyer Han also had no reason to stay. The manager was ordered to follow Lawyer Han to the hospital. He wanted to see if the thief was dead. Then he went to the thief's room alone. It turned out that the thief's stabbing was also a plan between Lawyer Han and Zhang Gan. The blood and armor were prepared by Zhang Gan. Zhang Gan gave it to the thief to act out a play. The thief was completely fine. Seeing that, the manager realized he had been tricked, but the manager didn't have time to leave. Chief Do and Zhang Gan were already ambushed in the hospital room. They arrested the manager for assaulting the thief. Chief Do took out a knife with the manager's fingerprints as evidence. He didn't expect that Chief Do could create fake evidence. Chief Do let Zhang Gan take the thief away first, and he wanted to negotiate with the manager. After Chief Do saw Zhang Gan put the thief in the car safely, he asked the manager where he hid the thief's wife, but the manager still said he didn't know. Chief Do had no choice but to hand him over to the police for handling. Suddenly, Sojun ran to inform Chief Do that she found a camera recording in the cell, and she discovered that the one who stabbed the thief was Zhang Man. At this time, Chief Do realized that everything the monitoring team had done up until now was all part of Zhang Man's plan. Chief Do immediately called Zhang Gan, but Zhang Gan did not answer. Chief Do worriedly told Sojun to go find Zhang Gan. On this side, Zhang Gan took the thief for a while. Then Zhang Gan was suddenly held by the thief with a knife to his neck. Zhang Gan wondered who gave the knife to the thief. Unexpectedly, the thief said that Zhang Man did it. The thief forced Zhang Gan to do as he said. Zhang Gan had to drive to the riverbank. The thief did not want to hurt Zhang Gan. The thief forced Zhang Gan to handcuff himself to the steering wheel. Then the thief threw the keys and phone outside and escaped. The thief drove away in the prepared car. In the car, Zhang Gan tried to reach for the gun. He intended to shoot off the handcuffs, but he was afraid that the bullet would hit him or damage the car, so he did not dare to shoot. Luckily, Zhang Gan saw a cyclist on the bridge. He fired the signal gun and called the other person for help. On the other side, Chief Do went to prison to meet Zhang Man. Chief Do asked what his real purpose was. Zhang Man admitted that he stabbed the thief. He did so because he wanted the thief to escape and save his wife. Since both of them lost their wives, Zhang Man sympathized with him. Zhang Man's second purpose was to make his son let the criminal escape and lose his job. What Zhang Gan did in the monitoring department was too dangerous, so Zhang Man didn't want his son to be like him 15 years ago. When Chief Do heard Zhang Man's purpose, he understood Zhang Man. At this time, Sojun received the news. She immediately ran to Zhang Gan to help him open the handcuffs. The two of them went to the thief's house. They wanted to see if he returned home. After the two of them searched the house, Zhang Gan discovered something unusual under the carpet. Sojun brought out forensic tools to check. Unexpectedly, before Sojun joined the monitoring department, she had worked in the forensic department. But because Sojun lost evidence in an important case, she was transferred to the supervisory board. After a while, Sojun finished preparing. She put on reflective glasses to show Zhang Gan. Unexpectedly, there was a blood stain on the floor that stretched all the way to the door. The thief's wife was murdered, and her body was taken away in this very house. That evening, Lawyer Han came to find the tycoon. She used the black book to seduce him. The tycoon only needed to bring it back to make a contribution to the chairman. Lawyer Han informed the tycoon that the thief had just escaped. Only when the tycoon asked the police to catch the thief could he get the black book. The tycoon still acted like he had no relationship with the police. But when Lawyer Han mentioned the death of the thief's wife, he immediately changed his attitude. The tycoon confessed that the manager was the one who murdered the thief's wife and disposed of her body. The tycoon only wanted to get the black book, not kill anyone. Lawyer Han suggested to the tycoon that he should call the police to the scene to cover up the clues. Only then did the tycoon confess. In fact, the chairman was the one who had a relationship with the police. The chairman often asked the police to solve the problems caused by his son. Lawyer Han asked the tycoon if he remembered the face of that policeman. He replied that he still had a little impression of him. At this moment, Chief Do opened the door and walked in. The tycoon recognized Chief Do as the one who appeared in his father's office. This made Lawyer Han confused. Could it be that Chief Do was the killer 7 years ago? Chief Do came here to continue negotiating with the tycoon. Chief Do wanted to know the location of the thief's wife, but Lawyer Han said that she had been murdered. Chief Do did not believe it. Then Chief Do was called by Sojun to inform him. The police had just checked the blood stains at the thief's house, and it was indeed his wife's blood, so Jun suspects that the thief will seek revenge on the tycoon. So Jun tells Chief Do that the thief escaped in a car with license plate 3281. Chief Do remembers that this car was just parked outside the door. Chief Do rushes out to find the car. At this moment, the power in the room suddenly goes out. The thief appears and threatens Lawyer Han with a gun, and he takes the tycoon away. The bodyguard outside tries to stop him, but is warned by him with a gun. When Chief Do runs over, it is too late. The thief has taken the tycoon away. The next day, Chief Do is called in by the chief to reprimand him for letting the thief escape and kidnapping the tycoon. The chief asks Chief Do to expel Jong-gon from the team because he suspects that Jong-gon and Jong-man in prison colluded to cause this. The case will continue if Chief Do handles the aftermath. He promises to do his best. Chief Do then returns to the supervisory board's office, but he has no intention of announcing Jong-gon's dismissal. However, Jong-gon also knew that the director had just put pressure on Chief Do, so Jong-gon automatically asked to withdraw. Jong-gon wanted to go home and rest for a while. Jong-gon said goodbye to Chief Do and left. At home, Lawyer Han was waiting for Jong-gon, but Jong-gon was disappointed and didn't want to talk to her. Lawyer Han just went inside the house. Then she told Jong-gon her real purpose. She wanted to find out who broke into her house 7 years ago. Lawyer Han knew that person was a policeman. He often took money to solve cases that were unfavorable to the rich. Lawyer Han also suspected that person was the one who really killed Jong-gon's mother and framed his father, because 7 years ago, when Lawyer Han was attacked, she was reinvestigating the murder case of Jong-gon's mother. Jong-gon wondered if Lawyer Han had found out who that person was. At first, she suspected Captain Jin, but after the tycoon revealed that Chief Do went to see the chairman, Lawyer Han began to reconsider. 15 years ago, the first person to come to Jong-gon's house was Chief Do. Chief Do was also the person in charge of investigating the case. Maybe he was the one who covered up the evidence and framed Jong-man. Lawyer Han wanted to investigate this case with Jong-gon. At the same time, she wanted to find the person who broke into the house and murdered her husband. Then Lawyer Han led Jong-gon back to the supervisory board to continue investigating the case. Chief Do did not show any attitude, because for him, Jong-gon's appearance did not affect him. Adding Lawyer Han would only add to the trouble. Chief Do went into the interrogation room of the manager. He refused to say anything because he believed that the chairman would send someone to save him. Chief Do laughed when he heard that. The chairman had actually sent someone to the door, but not to pick up the manager, but to take him away. They will bring the manager back to the chairman. They will use all kinds of violence and threats. Then they will force the manager to write a confession on behalf of the tycoon. Then the chairman will order his subordinates to stage a suicide for the manager. The words of the section chief Do began to make the manager think again. Suddenly, the person the chairman sent to pick up the manager rushed in. Section chief Do was almost able to convince him. Jong-gon had no choice but to uncuff the manager. However, as soon as he walked out the door, all the words of section chief Do immediately came true. Now the manager was scared. He begged Section Chief Do to save him. The subordinates intended to stop the manager, but they did not dare to act rashly because it was in front of the police station. The manager followed Section Chief Do inside. Later, Section Chief Do took the manager away. Jong-gon drove after him but lost track. Luckily, Lawyer Han had a GPS installed on Chief Do's car. At this time, Chief Do led the manager to a tunnel and forced him to get out of the car. Chief Do wanted to know where the manager buried the thief's wife. He was afraid that after knowing, Chief Do would kill him, so the manager wanted to be released first. Unexpectedly, the manager also had a mark on his thumb, which was identical to the mark on Lawyer Han's. This was a mark caused by an assassin within the police. The manager suspected that Chief Do was the assassin, so the manager was afraid that Chief Do would kill him. Chief Do agreed to let the manager go first, but he had only taken a few steps when Chief Do pulled out his gun and shot again. The manager was startled and turned around to see Chief Do's face, full of murderous intent. Chief Do was pointing the gun straight at the manager. Chief Do took out his phone and called the manager to ask him one last time, where was the thief's wife buried? The manager did not dare to hesitate any longer. He told Team Leader Do that he buried someone in the ecological park. After hearing that, Team Leader Do let him go. Just when Jong-gon's group arrived, Team Leader Do invited everyone to go find the body of the thief's wife. On the other side, the thief led the tycoon to the ecological park to find the body of his wife. This place has now become a wasteland. The thief forced the tycoon to dig until he found his wife's body. After digging for a while, the tycoon finally found the body. He vomited and ran up, but the thief was not afraid at all. He ran to hug his wife's body and cried. The tycoon took the opportunity to hit the thief with a shovel and then ran away. The thief let go of his wife and chased after the tycoon with a gun. He fired several shots in a row but missed, so he accidentally revealed the location to Team Leader Do. Team Leader Do found the thief's car, but there was no one there. At the same time, Chief Do also discovered the body of the thief's wife. Chief Do asked Jong-gon to go find the other two. Then he told Jun to stay and call for reinforcements. Then Jong-gon searched around. Suddenly, Jong-gon was pushed down by the tycoon. When the tycoon realized he was a policeman, he begged Jong-gon to save his life. The tycoon also promised to give Jong-gon a lot of money. Jong-gon asked the tycoon if he confessed to killing the thief's wife, but in the end he still did not admit his guilt. At this moment, the thief appeared. Jong-gon still had to rush out to cover for the tycoon. Jong-gon, the other party, should think again. But now the thief only wanted to avenge his wife. Jong-gon urged the tycoon to confess and apologize. It was not until the thief pointed a gun at him that the tycoon admitted. Jong-gon promised the thief that he would let him go to jail to atone for his crimes. The thief was about to let the tycoon go, but the tycoon smiled a miserable smile. This made the thief pick up the gun again. Jong-gon used the thief's wife to continue to persuade him, making him hesitate. Suddenly, someone shot a bullet through the thief's heart, and he died without a last word. Just when Chief Do arrived with a gun, Jong-gon thought he had done it. Chief Do did not show any expression and immediately asked about the black book. This reminded Jong-gon of what Lawyer Han said at home. Jong-gon suspected even more that Chief Do was a police officer working for the tycoons. Jong-gon said that before he died, the thief did not mention anything about the black book. Chief Do had no choice but to ignore this matter. Later, the police came to take over the scene, and they took the tycoon to the police station to file a case. The thief's case ended here. In the evening, Seo-jun dug at the scene with the police. They wanted to find more evidence to arrest the tycoon. She accidentally discovered something strange. Unexpectedly, there were many other corpses here. Seo-jun called to report to Chief Do. She suspected that there was a hidden serial murder case. The next day, the supervisor went to the forensic department to check. The police found 6 bodies. All of them were men. Chief Do found a piece of paper in the mouth of the most recent victim. He gave it to Jong-gon to find out what it was. Then everyone went to confirm the identities of the victims. Only Lawyer Han remained in the forensic department. Lawyer Han accidentally discovered that the victim also had his thumb cut off. Lawyer Han suspected that the case was caused by the killer 7 years ago. At this time, Jong-gon found out the identity of the most recent victim. This person was a criminal with 4 previous convictions for gambling and money laundering, named Baek Cho-sun, who disappeared at the end of last year. Before the victim went missing, he visited someone in prison. Jong-gon decided to go see that person. He wanted to know what the victim said before he died. Unexpectedly, the person Baek Cho-sun met was Jong-man. However, when Jong-gon asked, the father acted as if he knew nothing. Jong-gon wanted to know the real purpose of his father dragging him into the previous thief case. Then the police found the burial place of the victims in the serial murder. Jong-man said that he wanted to exchange the black book of the conglomerate for freedom. Jong-gon told this to Chief Do, which also surprised Chief Do. On the other side, Seo-jun and Lawyer Han went to the forensic department. From the doctor's words, they knew that only one of the 6 victims had his thumb not cut off. What's more, the method of committing the crime was different. All the victims were stripped of their clothes and wrapped in plastic bags. But this person was not. According to speculation, this could be the first victim of the serial murder. Later, the killer's methods evolved and became more careful, so he handled the bodies perfectly. This serial killer is also strange. He has a very good ability to control himself. Usually, serial murders are for fun and the frequency increases because the killer seeks excitement and thrill, but this guy kills victims in cycles. Lawyer Han suspects that the murderer is not killing for fun, but has other purposes. At this time, the director holds a press conference to announce the serial murder case. The director instructs the investigation team, led by Captain Jang, to take over this case. Although the supervisory board discovered the body, it is not their duty to investigate this case. The deputy minister reminds Jong-gon to return to tell the chief of the department. Later, Jong-gon brings the deputy minister's message back to convey to everyone. There is nothing else to do, so Lawyer Han says goodbye and leaves. But the chief of the department, Do, knows that she will not give up easily. The supervisory board also does not want to give up the case they have found. Outside, Lawyer Han told the bodyguards to investigate the relatives of the most recent victim. Baek Cho-sun. The next day, Jong-gon discovered that the vice minister was releasing the criminal tycoon. While he was in the bathroom, Jong-gon followed and restrained him. Jong-gon wanted to ask the tycoon why the manager had incited him to dump the body of the thief's wife in the ecological park. The tycoon admitted that the manager had said that the park would not be investigated by the police because the police were also doing bad things there. After hearing this, Jong-gon immediately ran to the vice minister, insisting on investigating the serial murder case. In return, Jong-gon would pretend not to know anything about the tycoon's release. At the same time, Jong-gon would help the vice minister find the black book. Jong-gon saw that the vice minister was very interested in the black book. After Jong-gon's persuasion, the vice minister agreed to let the supervisory board continue investigating the serial murder case, but they had to do it quickly. When the director finds out, they just need to show the results, and she won't be able to say anything. After Jong-gon left the vice minister's office, he received a call from So-jun. She had confirmed the identities of the bodies. They were all people with criminal records and were wanted. Jong-gon immediately wanted to bring the files to Chief Do, but he was in the investigation department's interrogation room. Jong-gon immediately called the director to the investigation department. He wanted to show her the results he had just found. Jong-gon wanted to return the serial murder case to the supervisory department. On the other side, Chief Do was arrested for questioning because he was the one who let the manager go. Currently, the manager has become a suspect because he knows where the bodies of the serial murder were buried. However, Chief Do insisted that the manager was not the murderer because he also had a thumb that had been cut off like the victims. Captain Jang didn't care about these deductions. Captain Jang only wanted Chief Do to cooperate with the investigation. Suddenly, the two heard fighting outside. Jong-gon brought the victims' identities to cause trouble. He demanded that the investigation team release Chief Do. Captain Jang went to get the results, then he brought it back to the interrogation room for Chief Do to see. Soon after, the director also arrived. The director knew that the supervisory board was the one who confirmed the victims' identities, so she wanted someone from the supervisory board to follow her. Everyone went to the supervisory board's room together. The deputy minister was also called here. Jong-gon expressed his speculations about the serial murder case. Through the investigation, Jong-gon knew that the cases happened about 15 years ago, which was also the time Jong-man went to prison. Jong-man used to be a police officer. The suspect was the manager, also a former police officer. The victims were all wanted criminals. The most recent victim was Baek Cho-sun, who even went to see Jong-man before he went missing. Maybe Jong-man knew something about the case. The director interrupted Jong-gon, thinking that Jong-gon was suspecting someone within the police force of being the perpetrator of the serial murders. Jong-gon and Chief Do both agreed. This made the vice minister angry, and he forgot his promise to Jong-gon just now. The vice minister did not want the supervisory board to continue the investigation, but the director did not want that. She let the supervisory board handle the serial murder case because their job was to catch the police who committed the crime. The next day, Baek Cho-sun's younger sister was invited to cooperate in the investigation. After Baek Cho-sun went missing, Baek Han became the director of her brother's gang company. This made Jong-gon suspicious. Baek Han explained that because no one dared to take that position and the company could not stop operating, she had to take over. Jong-gon also knew that Baek Han was the one who informed Captain Jang about his brother's plan to escape abroad. Baek Han admitted that Baek Cho-sun suggested that she do it so that the gang company could operate in peace. Jong-gon was still suspicious. He thought that Baek Han was the one who killed her brother, but she couldn't have done it alone. Jong-gon put some police photos on the table and asked her who helped her kill Baek Cho-sun. Baek Han picked up the photo of the manager. She said that this was the person who often came to the company before her brother went missing, but Jong-gon knew that she was instructed by someone. Their purpose was to frame the manager. Suddenly, Lawyer Han entered. Lawyer Han was hired to defend Baek Han. However, Lawyer Han pretended not to know Jong-gon. She just insisted on taking her client away. The supervisory board had no choice but to release him. In the afternoon, Jong-gon attended the pardon board as a family member who was also a victim. Jong-gon would decide whether to forgive his father. Before the board, Jong-man admitted that he had killed his wife and that he had felt extremely remorseful for the past 15 years. Jong-man begged for forgiveness from the board and his son, and then he was taken outside to await the results. The board board asked Jong-gon if he would accept his father's pardon. Jong-gon agreed, because this was originally his discussion with the vice minister. In that case, the supervisory board would continue to investigate the serial murder case. In the evening, when Baek-han was taking her car home, she was suddenly attacked by a masked man. He stuffed her into the trunk of the car. However, after a while, there was no movement outside, so Baek-han dared to come out. Baek-han quickly called Lawyer Han to tell him everything. In fact, this was Lawyer Han's plan. The masked man was Lawyer Han's bodyguard. She wanted to threaten Baek-han to tell the truth. Lawyer Han then took Baek-han to a psychiatric clinic. Lawyer Han asked her best friend to help Baek-han. At this time, Baek-han was extremely scared, so she decided to tell Lawyer Han everything she knew. On the night of Baek Cho-sun's case, Baek-han received a phone call. The number was Baek Cho-sun's, but the voice on the other end of the line was a strange man's. That person asked Baek-han where human evolution began. He also said that Baek Cho-sun had evolved to the point of losing all humanity, so Baek Cho-sun became a criminal. Therefore, Baek Cho-sun had to die. Baek-han was afraid that the murderer was targeting her, so she begged Lawyer Han for help. But Lawyer Han was also panicking after hearing Baek-han's story, because that person was still the killer who came to Lawyer Han's house 7 years ago. The next day, Lawyer Han took Baek-han to the supervisory board. This time, Baek-han also agreed to tell the whole truth. Baek-han took out his phone to show everyone the messages between him and the mysterious killer. At first, Baek-han was also confused when he replaced his brother as the director of the gang company, but thanks to the mysterious killer's guidance, Baek-han completely controlled everything, and she even helped the company grow stronger. Jong-gon wanted to ask for the killer's phone number, but Baek-han said that every time he called, it was a different number. Head of the board, Do, suggested to Baek-han that next time the killer called, Baek-han should contact him. After Baek-han left, the supervisory board continued to meet in private. Jong-gon investigated the other victims one by one. They all controlled gang companies. After they died, their relatives or confidants took over. And as Baek-han said, everyone is controlled by the same person. However, no one can guess the true purpose of the murderer. Why does he want to manipulate these gang companies? At this time, Jong-man has been pardoned. The deputy minister arrives in front of the prison to ask about the location of the black book. The deputy minister gives Jong-man a phone to look at the map and contact. At this time, Jong-gon and Chief Do also arrive. The deputy minister sees the two and angrily asks what they are doing here. It is normal for Jong-gon to pick up his father. Jong-gon gives his father a new phone. Jong-gon tells his father to return the phone to the deputy minister. Then Jong-gon drives his father away. After Jong-gon takes his father home, he tells Jong-man a few things and returns to the office. Here, So-jun identifies the only victim whose finger was not cut off. It is a police officer who went missing in 2004. Jong-gon remembers something. He took out a photo of an investigation team from the drawer. Unexpectedly, the missing police officer was in the same team as Jong-man, Section Chief Do, and Captain John. Jong-gon immediately went home to ask his father, but he was gone. This made Jong-gon extremely angry. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. It was the police officer sent by Captain Jang to find Jong-man, but this time his efforts were in vain. Jong-gon closed the door and chased the person away. When Jong-gon returned to the house, he accidentally saw signs of the ceiling being broken into. Jong-gon tried to climb up to search and found a gift box. However, inside the box was only an empty bag. Perhaps the contents had been taken away by Jong-man. Jong-gon was wondering what it was when he suddenly received a phone call. Unexpectedly, the manager dared to call Jong-gon. He even said he was outside Jong-gon's house. Jong-gon immediately ran out to check and found the manager standing in the building opposite. He came here to find Jong-man, but he wasn't home. The manager told Jong-gon the truth. The manager and Jong-man had investigated a serial killer. He was a high-ranking police officer. The manager lost his job. Jong-gon's father was wrongfully imprisoned. The missing police officers that the supervisory board had just found were all victims of the murderer. The manager told Jong-gon the purpose of his visit to Jong-gon this time. He wanted Jong-gon to pass a message to Lawyer Han to prepare some money for him to escape. Then the manager would let everyone know who the police officer who did the bad thing was. The manager knew that Lawyer Han really wanted to find that person, but if he directly said the name, both she and the manager would die. Jong-gon wanted to keep the line to ask more questions, but the manager hung up and left, not forgetting to destroy the phone. On the other side, Jong-man went to find the vice minister to discuss important matters. Jong-man will hand over the black book to the deputy minister. In return, Jong-man wants to investigate investigate the serial murder case, because Zhang Man wants to find the murderer who killed his wife. The deputy minister was very surprised when he heard that. Because Zhang Man was a prisoner on parole but was still under house arrest, he wanted to participate in the investigation. Zhang Man said that he just wanted to clear his name, so that Zhang Gan would not feel resentment towards him anymore. After saying that, Zhang Man stood up and left. At that moment, he met the chief coming in. She recognized the person who had taught her at the police academy, so she asked to take a photo with Zhang Man. The chief took the opportunity to whisper to him that she wanted the black book of the conglomerate and that the chief would pay a higher price than the deputy minister. Zhang Man did not care about the chief's words. After taking the photo, he asked to leave. In the evening, Zhang Gan returned home and saw his father sleeping on the ground. Zhang Gan kicked him a few times. Zhang Man immediately jumped up and grabbed his son's neck. Because prisoners can be assassinated at any time, Zhang Man must always be alert. Zhang Man reaches out to help Zhang Gan up, but he doesn't need it. Then Zhang Gan asks where his father has been all day. Zhang Man says he has some personal matters to take care of. Zhang Gan wonders what his father hid in the ceiling. Zhang Man says it's a wedding anniversary gift he planned to give his wife. Every time Zhang Gan hears about his mother, he hates his father. Zhang Gan can't continue talking to his father. Zhang Gan throws him a blanket and goes outside. On the other side, Chief Du goes to see the taxi driver. He's the one who took Zhang Man out today. Chief Du finds out that the taxi driver is a cellmate of Zhang Gan's father. Chief Du asks him if he recognizes the thief in the photo. The taxi driver nods in agreement and then tells the story. In prison, thief once gave him a box and told him to send it to Zhang Man when the taxi driver has the chance. So today, when the taxi driver knew that Zhang Man had just been pardoned, he was already waiting at the door for Zhang Man to come out and pick him up. In the car, the taxi driver took the box and returned it to Zhang Man. Chief Du wondered what was in the box, but the taxi driver didn't know either. The next day, Zhang Gan woke up and saw his father had prepared breakfast. Zhang Man wanted to gradually ease the hatred in his son's heart. Zhang Gan felt the sincerity in his father's eyes, so he gradually became less tense with his father. After eating, Zhang Man saw his son off to work, tying Zhang Gan's shoelaces himself. Outside, Zhang Gan told his father that only he could pick up the phone, but as soon as Zhang Gan left, he received a call from the vice minister. The vice minister told Zhang Man to bring the black book to the supervisory board office. Zhang Man asked about the agreement between the two. The vice minister replied that the murderer would come and get the book himself. Zhang Man immediately prepared a gun and put on his shirt and went outside. On the other side, Zhang Gan went to see lawyer Han. He asked why she insisted that his father was wronged. After what he had just experienced, lawyer Han knew that the murderer was definitely still free outside. But Zhang Man had been in prison for the past 15 years, so he couldn't have done those things. But there was another case. That was, even though Zhang Gan's father was in prison, he could still manipulate people outside to act on his behalf. To clarify this matter, the two of them needed to investigate many more things. Now Zhang Gan recounted that the manager wanted lawyer Han to prepare some money so he could escape. Then the manager would tell them who the murderer within the police was. Zhang Gan intended to go see the manager alone because he was afraid that lawyer Han would be in danger, but Zhang Gan couldn't prepare enough money, so he came here to ask for her help. Lawyer Han decided to go with Zhang Gan. She called the bodyguard to help her prepare some things. Later, Captain Zhang came to find lawyer Han, but she and Zhang Gan had already left, leaving only the bodyguard at home. Captain Zhang asked the bodyguard where the other two had gone, but he refused to say. Unexpectedly, Captain Zhang used the bodyguard's son to threaten him, forcing him to show where lawyer Han was. At this time, Zhang Gan and lawyer Han brought money to the manager. He appeared and told Zhang Gan to throw the money over to him. As soon as the manager received the money, he immediately broke the agreement. He pointed a gun at the two, saying that he didn't know who the murderer they were looking for was, but that person found the manager's phone number. Then he sent a text message to the manager, and the manager followed the murderer's instructions and went to the locker to get something. There was money, and a gun, and a message. The murderer told him to deal with lawyer Han and Zhang Gan. If he didn't listen, the manager would die. Today the assassin will take care of all those who hinder him, including Zhang Gan's father. Zhang Gan is extremely worried about his father, but the manager holds a gun to his head so he cannot go. Suddenly, Captain Zhang appears and knocks the manager out. Zhang Gan takes the opportunity to run away. Zhang Gan wants to drive home to find his father, while lawyer Han stays behind to deal with Captain Zhang. Captain Zhang is proud of having just saved 2 lives, so he plans to take lawyer Han's money as a reward. Unexpectedly, when Captain Jang picks up the suitcase, he gets electrocuted and falls to the ground. This is the plan that Lawyer Han asked his bodyguards to prepare to catch the manager, but Captain Jang is greedy and is punished. Lawyer Han takes Captain Jang's handcuffs and handcuffs him. When she is about to leave, she discovers that the police have also arrived. Lawyer Han quickly threw the suitcase of money into the trash, then she acted in front of the police, showing herself as the victim. Captain Jang was injured because he saved someone. The police couldn't do anything, so they let Lawyer Han go. On the other side, Jongman went to the supervisory board's office, as instructed by the deputy minister. Jongman waited here for a long time, when suddenly Chief Do appeared. Jongman suspected that Chief Do was the assassin that the deputy minister mentioned, so Jongman immediately pointed his gun at Chief Do. But Chief Do recognized the gun in Jonggon's father's hand. It belonged to a policeman who was murdered 15 years ago. Chief Do also suspected that Jongman was the assassin. At this time, Jongman recounted that 15 years ago, his dead teammate asked him to go to the ecological park, but when Jongman arrived, he only saw a car but no people. Jongman tried to get into the car to search, but he discovered his teammate's gun. Jongman knew he had fallen into the assassin's trap, so he took the gun for self-defense. But it turned out that the killer wanted to frame him for killing his teammate. For the past 15 years, Jongman had been sitting in prison, wondering who the real killer was. That day, the only person who knew that Jongman had gone to see his teammate was Chief Do. However, Chief Do defended himself. He admitted that what Jongman said was true. But even though Chief Do knew that Jongman had gone to see his teammate, Chief Do still covered it up when the investigation team took his statement. Then Chief Do called Jongman to inform him to escape. However, Jongman felt strange because he had not received any calls that day. The two people's accounts began to contradict each other. When Jongman left the house, his wife was still alive, and Jonggon was sleeping. But when Chief Do hung up and went into the house, his wife was dead, and Jonggon was hiding in the bathtub. The two looked at each other suspiciously. The deputy minister told Jongman that the assassin would come to get the black book, but Chief Do said that the deputy minister told him to come get the black book to resolve the conflict with Jongman, who was telling the truth. Jongman felt stuck, so he returned first. He made an appointment to meet Chief Do another day to clarify the truth. When Jonggon returned home in the evening, he found that the apartment building was surrounded by the police. Jonggon heard people say that there was a murder case here. Jonggon discovered that Chief Do was in the ambulance. He was seriously injured in the head and unconscious. Jonggon realized something and rushed back to his room. Jonggon did not expect that the dead person was his father. This made him so heartbroken that he could not say a word. After Lawyer Han received the news that Jongman had died, she immediately went to the forensic room. She tried to examine Jongman's body, but unexpectedly his thumb was also cut off. The person who killed Jongman was still the assassin who broke into her house 7 years ago. On the other side, Chief Do had just recovered when he was immediately summoned to the police station to give his statement. Chief Do said that he followed Jongman to his house because Chief Do wanted to confirm a few things with him, but unexpectedly, Chief Do was knocked unconscious by someone. Suddenly, the deputy minister opened the door and walked in. Unexpectedly, the first thing he asked was about the black book. Chief Do said that he had not gotten it yet. Jongman also had not revealed anything about the black book, which made the deputy minister angry and leave. At this time, Jonggon had calmed down. Chief Do went around the house looking for clues, but he only saw his father's blood on the floor and bathroom. Jonggon accidentally realized that his childhood memories had been mixed up. The person who killed his mother was not his father, but Chief Do. It was also Chief Do who found Jonggon in the bathroom. But is this the truth that has been hidden for the past 15 years, or is it just another misconception that Jonggon had when he lost his father? Later, Chief Do and Sojun went to Jonggon's house to investigate. Chief Do searched the whole house to find something. Seeing this, Jonggon was extremely angry. Chief Do suspected that his father had died because of the black book. In Jonggon's mind was the smile of the murderer who killed his mother. Jonggon angrily sent Chief Do away, lying that he needed to rest. Chief Do had no choice but to take Sojun away. The next day, Chief Do went to the prison to visit the manager. Chief Do told him about Jongman's death. The killer had tortured Jongman before killing him to ask for the location of the black book. Chief Do wanted the manager to reconsider. 2 out of 5 people in the investigation team with them had died because because of a book. Chief Do really wanted to know what was written in it. The manager didn't want Chief Do to sacrifice in vain like the others, so he told him the truth. In that book was evidence of corruption among high-ranking police officials. The murderer was just their lackey. Even if Chief Do caught him, the officials would find another murderer to replace him. Chief Do still couldn't avoid danger. However, Chief Do didn't just want to find the murderer, he also wanted to find the book. He would expose the crimes of the officials. He didn't want anyone else to die in vain. That night, Jong-gon received a call from Baek-han. She asked him to come pick up the things Jong-man left behind. Before Jong-man's accident, he went to her place to leave an item. It seemed that Baek-han knew what it was, so she urged Jong-gon to come immediately. She was afraid that she would be in danger. So early in the morning, Jong-gon went to Baek-han's house, but Jong-gon kept calling, but no one opened the door. The phone kept ringing from inside the house. Jong-gon had to call So-jun for help. As soon as So-jun arrived, he took a lever from the car. Jong-gon carried it to Baek-han's house to break the door, but he was stopped by So-jun. Doing so would result in them being arrested for trespassing. Jong-gon had to call lawyer Han because she was the legal representative of the homeowner and would have the right to enter, but lawyer Han also did not know the password to Baek-han's house. Her bodyguard had to use a tool to help break the lock. When they got inside, everyone discovered a blood stain on the window. Last night, someone knocked Baek-han out here and took him away. After that, Jong-gon got into Baek-han's car to get the CCTV to check. Suddenly, Captain Jang appeared, and someone reported him about the disappearance. This was not a case for the supervisory board, so Jong-gon had to hand over the evidence he had collected. At the same time, Jong-gon had to go to the police station to give a statement because he appeared at the victim's house at the time she went missing. In the interrogation room, Jong-gon was not afraid to tell the truth. Baek-han called him to get his father's things. Captain Jong went out to discuss with the deputy minister. The two suspected that the item Jong-gon mentioned was the black book. The deputy minister did not allow the disappearance to be made public because the secret of the black book would be exposed. Many people wanted to participate in this. Captain Jong was worried that Baek-han would be in danger, but the chief said that they did not need to care about her. They just needed to send someone to secretly find her. After all, Baek-han was the only clue to the black book. At this time, So-jun joined the forensic team. She checked the scene at Baek-han's house and then reported the news to Jong-gon. The truth was just as Jong-gon's group predicted. Baek-han was hit hard on the head and taken away. In addition to the bloodstains on the window and the floor, later, So-jun returned to the supervisory board's office and gave Jong-gon the stolen apartment security camera. After watching it, he discovered that Baek-han had not been taken out of the apartment. Jong-gon called Chief Do to ask for his help. When Chief Don heard that Baek-han was missing, he immediately returned to the office. However, Chief Do was currently under investigation restrictions, so he could not inform them that Baek-han was still in the apartment, and he could not call the police to help search. Chief Do decided to go there himself. On the other side, lawyer Han gave her a piece of paper and told the bodyguard to take her to that address. This was the piece of paper that she picked up in Baek-han's house, and she suspected that this was where Baek-han hid the black book. The bodyguard drove lawyer Han to a warehouse. Unexpectedly, Captain Jang's group also knew the way here. The bodyguard secretly informed him because Captain Jang was still using his son to threaten him. Captain Jang sent people to search inside but found nothing. It turned out that on the way here, the bodyguard admitted that he was a spy for Captain Jang. Lawyer Han knew that and immediately made a plan to trick Captain Jang. After walking a while, Captain Jang also realized that he had been tricked. He sent people to search and ransack all the warehouses that Baek-han registered under. The next day, Captain Jang got the information, but he was one step slower than Lawyer Han. Lawyer Han and the bodyguard had stolen the safe and left. The deputy minister sighed after reading it. Suddenly, Chief Do came in. He wanted the deputy minister to allow an investigation into Baek-han's disappearance. The deputy minister let Captain Jang go first. Then he made a condition to Chief Do. The supervisory board had to coordinate with the investigation board to carry it out. Chief Do agreed to this proposal. The deputy minister continued to ask what Chief Do would do. Chief Do wanted to mobilize forces to go to the apartment to look for Baek-han. The next day, the police sealed off the apartment. Captain Jong was the leader. Jong-gon also joined in. Jong-gon accidentally saw some familiar cleaning staff in the room across the street. When he got home at night, Jong-gon turned on the security camera to check and realized that they were the staff cleaning up his father's crime scene. Jong-gon Gon tried calling Sojun and asked him. Then he knew that the cleaning company had a special service, which was to clean up the crime scene of people who had left this world. Gon seemed to understand something. He hurriedly returned to the apartment. Gon went into the room that the cleaning staff had left in the morning. After a while of checking, Gon discovered a ring with hair still stuck in the bathroom. Gon intended to take it and leave, but unexpectedly, he met Chief Do, who also came to the room. Gon asked why he knew this place. Chief Do said nothing and went straight into the bathroom to look for something. Gon ignored him. Gon ran to Baikon's room to confirm that the ring was indeed hers. The next day, Gon showed the videotape to Chief Do, which showed the scene when the cleaning staff left the apartment. Last night, Gon didn't notice anything unusual, but today, Chief Do immediately noticed that when the cleaning staff returned, they were carrying a blue box. The two suspected that Baikon's body had been cut up and stuffed inside the box. Chief Do and Gon went to the cleaning company to check. This place also provided cremation services. The blue box was not found, but Gon discovered a pile of fresh ashes. Gon asks the staff to bring the ashes back, and Gon took the employee Chung Min to the police station for questioning. However, Gon couldn't find any clues. Chief Do guesses that she doesn't have the book, and Lawyer Han's real purpose is to make the killer from 7 years ago think that she is holding the black book. Lawyer Han wants him to come to her in person so that she can take revenge for the grudge from 7 years ago. Chief Do reminds Lawyer Han that what she is doing is very dangerous, but what Lawyer Han wants is more than that. She wants answers for Gon, who made Gon lose both his father and mother. Chief Do admits that he also has this purpose. 15 years ago, Chief Do believed that Gon's father was the murderer, but Chief Do couldn't find evidence, so he fabricated it and framed Jongman. However, when Chief Do saw Jongman's death, Chief Do realized his mistake. He regretted it and wanted to make amends, so he really needed the black book to help, but it turned out that Lawyer Han didn't have it either. Suddenly Gon pushed the door open and walked in. Gon had something to say to Lawyer Han, so Chief Do asked for permission to leave first. Outside, Chief Do told the bodyguards to protect Lawyer Han, well, because what she was doing was extremely dangerous. The bodyguards didn't understand, but agreed. Inside, Gon got straight to the point. Gon wanted Lawyer Han to help him. Gon wanted Lawyer Han to use his authority to ask who had instructed the cleaning staff to clean the room where Baikon's body was hidden that day. Because Gon knew that Chung Min had been dishonest when he gave his statement at the supervision board last time, Lawyer Han had no reason to refuse Gon's request. The next day, Chung Min was under pressure from Lawyer Han, so he was forced to contact Gon. Gon asked Chung Min to help him with something. After that, Chung Min went to the police station. He came here to meet the person who instructed him. Unexpectedly, that person was Captain Jang. He took bribes from the cleaning company and gave them business. Captain Jang pointed out the apartments where people died for the cleaning company to clean. After Chung Min talked to Captain Jang, he reported to Gon that the task Gon gave him had been completed. Gon overheard the entire conversation because suspected that Captain Jang knew something about Baikon's death. Later, Captain Jang went out. Gon and Sojun followed him to a restaurant. The two saw Captain Jang meeting a girl, and he even gave her some money. After the girl left, Sojun immediately followed her. Unfortunately, Sojun was discovered by her. It turned out that this girl was just Captain Jang's daughter with his ex-wife. On the other side, Gon went in and sat across from Captain Jang. Then he said that Captain Jang was the one who killed Baikon. Captain Jang immediately denied Gon's accusation. Then he recounted the results of his investigation. He discovered something. After Baikon called Gon on the night of her disappearance, she also called Chief Do and made an appointment to come to his house. Chief Do arrived before Gon and stayed there for 30 minutes. Based on the evidence, Captain Jang concluded that Chief Do was the one who killed Baikon. Gon wondered why Chief Do had to do that. Captain Jang explained that it was because of the black book. Perhaps Chief Do's name was also in it. Gon still couldn't believe what he had just heard. Captain Jang told Gon another thing. The decisive evidence in the case of Gon's father killing Gon's mother 15 years ago was found by Chief Do. Gon immediately had doubts when he heard that, so he stood up and left to have time to think. On the other side, Chief Do went to see the deputy minister. Unexpectedly, the director of the procuracy also came. They wanted Chief Do to go to Han's law office to get the black book. The two admitted that their names were also in it, so they wanted to get the book to hide the truth. Because they were about to retire, they needed to keep some honor in the industry. Chief Do knew that this was a lie from the two of them, and he also knew that Han didn't have the book. But Chief Do still pretended to do as they were told, because he wanted to see what their real purpose was. Right after Chief Do left the room, the director called Han. He told her to go to the chairman of the conglomerate to find out who the real murderer was. But when Han went to see the chairman, he was the only one in the office. At this time, Han realized that she had been tricked, so she immediately stood up and left. At this time, Jong-gon reviewed the video recording at the apartment and discovered that Chief Do went there on the day Baek-han went missing. Jong-gon seemed to understand something. He immediately called Chief Do to make an appointment, but Chief Do had just gone to Lawyer Han's place, so he would come back to see Jong-gon later. However, Jong-gon did not have enough patience, so he took So-jun to Lawyer Han's house. Jong-gon took a gun and handcuffed So-jun in the car. Jong-gon wanted to meet Chief Do alone. Jong-gon went straight to Lawyer Han's room. He saw Chief Do there. Jong-gon directly asked him if he was the one who killed Baek-han. Jong-gon told him his discovery. On the day Baek-han went missing, Chief Do came to see her. However, Chief Do still denied it. Jong-gon had no choice but to take out the gun he had prepared earlier. Then the two started fighting. When Lawyer Han's room seemed to be destroyed, Chief Do finally confessed that Baek-han was still alive, but Jong-gon still did not believe him. At this moment, Lawyer Han appeared. She confirmed that what department head Do said was true. Baek-han was still alive. She had just called Lawyer Han to inform him. That day, department head Do knew that Baek-han would be in danger, so he hid her in another empty room. Then he faked the scene as a kidnapping and murder. Thanks to that, Baek-han was able to be safe until now. At this time, all of Jong-gon's doubts were also cleared. After that, everyone returned together. On the way back, So-jun's phone kept ringing, but she didn't pick up, so Jun told Jong-gon to let him get out of the car, which made him feel suspicious. Then Jong-gon returned to the office. He turned on So-jun's computer to take a look. He discovered that there was a video recording of the supervisory board's office. Every action here was secretly filmed by So-jun. Unexpectedly, she was an insider planted in the supervisory board. Later, Jong-gon returned home. He tried to search the room again to see if his father had hidden the black book somewhere, but Jong-gon searched all night without finding it. The next day, Jong-gon woke up early to go to work. He took the pair of shoes that his father had tied for him the day before. Jong-gon felt something in the shoe. Under the insole was a USB. Unexpectedly, the black book that everyone had been looking for so long was this small thing. Jong-gon put the USB into the computer to take a look. Inside were all the secret documents of the police department. He called to inform Chief Do. Chief Do and Lawyer Han immediately went to Jong-gon's house. Suddenly, Jong-gon discovered that someone had broken into the house. He went outside to check. The killer rushed forward, strangled Jong-gon, and tied him to the doorknob. He also used tape to cover Jong-gon's mouth so that Jong-gon could not call for help. After that, the killer took the USB. Then he threw Jong-gon's computer into the water basin. He prepared to do the last step, that was murder, and then cutting off the finger. But the killer did not expect Jong-gon to have a gun in his pants. The killer saw Jong-gon shooting at him and hurriedly left. Jong-gon shot the doorknob to escape. Chief Do ran outside to search but could not find the killer. Jong-gon ran to the security room to check the CCTV, but it flickered at the crucial moment. At that time, Chief Do and Lawyer Han arrived. They were extremely disappointed to know that the killer had taken the black book, but they also felt lucky that Jong-gon was still alive. On the other side, So-jun went to the office. When So-jun turned on the computer, she realized that Jong-gon had discovered that she was an insider. So-jun was wondering how to explain to Jong-gon when she suddenly received a call from Chief Do. He wanted her to go to Jong-gon's house to examine the crime scene. The killer left behind a strangulation rope, a roll of tape, and finger cutters. Lawyer Han recognized the pliers as the one the killer used on her 7 years ago. She panicked again. Later, So-jun came to Jong-gon's house to find him. She helped him treat his wound and took the opportunity to apologize. So-jun was indeed an insider, but she had not revealed any of the supervisory board's secrets. Jong-gon knew that too. If So-jun had revealed them, the supervisory board would have been disbanded long ago. He did not blame So-jun, but he only advised her to transfer to another department. Jong-gon would also keep this secret from Chief Do. So-jun felt extremely grateful to Jong-gon. After speaking, Jong-gon stood up and left. At this time, everyone returned to the supervisory board's office. Jong-gon talked about what he saw in the black book. There was a video recording the scene of the director of the procuratorate using drugs. The time was May 2017. The location was at a nightclub. Speaking of this, Chief Do remembered someone. The tycoon was also a drug addict and owned a nightclub. They were definitely related. Lawyer Han wanted to investigate the tycoon because she was handling the case for his manager. The manager would definitely know something. Later, Lawyer Han went into the cell to find the manager. She asked him about the relationship between the director of the procuratorate and the tycoon. Unexpectedly, the tycoon had been accused of drug trafficking, but the director helped him escape the crime because the tycoon's subordinate filmed the director using drugs. That subordinate was the strategy team leader of the tycoon's company named Park Bom. He was the one who collected the police's charges and put them in a blacklist. The tycoon company used it to manipulate all the police. However, this had the opposite effect. Later, Park Bom suddenly disappeared in June 2017, leaving only the blacklist for the chairman of the tycoon group. The chairman sent the manager to find Park Bom, but the manager was caught by the assassin, and his thumb was cut off. This action of his was a direct warning to the conglomerate. The conglomerate was then threatened by the assassin, so he secretly took the black book away. He kept it at home and waited for the assassin to come and get it, but the black book was stolen by the thief and given to Jong-gon's father. Lawyer Han told the manager that the black book had returned to the assassin. This made the manager extremely worried. All those who knew the secret of the black book could be dealt with, and then no one would remember that the black book ever existed. Lawyer Han wondered if the manager knew so much about the black book, would there be any way for him to find it? The manager told her that when the black book was turned on a computer connected to the internet, it would reveal its location. After hearing these issues, Lawyer Han stood up and left. The manager reminded her to be careful because the closer she got to the truth, the more dangerous it would be. Lawyer Han already knew the consequences. Then she returned to the supervisory board office. She reported what the manager had just said to everyone. Lawyer Han pointed out a drug dealer. He also went missing in June with Park Bom. She suspected that the chief prosecutor ordered the assassin to kill those who knew his secret, but Chief Do had a question. If so, the assassin only needed to kill the manager and Park Bom. Why did the assassin have to kill other people? That would have created a mass murder. The assassin's targets were all thugs. Moreover, after the drug dealer died, the drugs were still circulating, so who was it exchanged through? Jong-gon stood up and suggested that they go find the drug dealer's subordinates to find out. Chief Do told So-jun to find the location of Kim Sok's subordinate. So-jun found him washing dishes for a restaurant. Jong-gon and Chief Do immediately set out to find him. When they arrived, the man told them that Kim Sok had just left after receiving the message. Luckily, the man read it. He pointed out that Kim Sok would go to a nearby phone booth. Chief Do and Jong-gon continued to search. They saw Kim Sok preparing to contact someone. Jong-gon immediately handcuffed him, and Chief Do took the phone. Chief Do dialed the number, based on the message. On the other end of the line was a voice message indicating the location at a massage parlor. Chief Do and Jong-gon set out again, taking Kim Sok along with them. The three of them arrived at a secret massage and prostitution parlor. Inside, Chief Do and Jong-gon discovered something unusual and immediately drew their guns, ready to defend themselves. But there was nothing here except for two freshly killed thugs. Jong-gon rushed out to look for the killer, but he couldn't find any traces left by him. At this time, Chief Do also realized that the victims had their fingers cut off by the killer. This must have been done by someone within the police. Jong-gon wondered why the killer had to kill all the thugs. Chief Do suspected that these thugs were all related to the Black Book. Since the killer had found the book, he had to kill everyone who knew about its existence. Jong-gon asked Chief Do what he planned next. What else did he want besides finding the mastermind behind it? On the other side, Lawyer Han went to the forensics department. She asked for the results of the examination of the things the killer left at Jong-gon's house. The forensics officer couldn't find fingerprints on any of the items, but he found 10 DNA samples on the finger clippers. That meant the killer had killed at least 9 people. In addition to the 5 victims in the serial murder, there were also Lawyer Han and his wife, the manager, and Jongman. It seemed that the killer wanted to admire his work, so he did not wipe the blood bloodstains on the pliers. Lawyer Han felt that the killer was a truly terrifying psychopath. That evening, Lawyer Han returned home. Chief Do came to see her and reported that the killer had killed 2 more people that day. Because the two knew that the killer was related to the chief prosecutor, they discussed a plan to arrest him. The next day, the supervisory board prepared to take action. They would arrest the chief prosecutor to investigate the crime of drug use. Jong-gon wondered if the supervisory board did not have an arrest warrant, the chief prosecutor could still escape. However, Lawyer Han had a plan. She posted an article with the content: the chief prosecutor was suspected by an anonymous lawyer of using drugs while conducting the trial, so the supervisory board can keep the director for investigation. If he resists, he will be charged with resisting a person on duty. This time, Chief Do also asked for help from the director and the vice minister, so they will not make things difficult for the supervisory board. The 4 of them went to the vice minister's office. The director had been lured here by the vice minister and was inside. The vice minister assigned the remaining work to the supervisory board. So Jun also distracted the prosecutors. Inside, Chief Do immediately arrested the person. He wanted to take hair and urine samples from the director for testing. The director wanted to resist, but he was old and weak, so he did not have the strength to resist. Jong-gon started taking his hair samples. Suddenly, Lawyer Han changed her mind. She would help the director on the condition that he obeyed. If the director now had a lawyer to bail him out, the supervisory board could not force the suspect without an arrest warrant. Chief Do and Jong-gon wondered, because this was not their original plan. Lawyer Han has another plan to expose the killer. Although the supervisory board now confirms that the director is using drugs, when he is released, the killer may immediately deal with him. Director Do agrees to hand over the director to Lawyer Han, hoping that she will give everyone a reasonable answer. Lawyer Han also asks the bodyguard to call the reporter here. She did this to prevent the director from changing his mind. Lawyer Han leads the director out so that the reporter can take pictures and put him all over the newspapers. If the director escapes, the suspicion that he is using drugs will be correct. The police will have the right to continue to arrest him for investigation. Lawyer Han then takes the director home and makes a condition for him. She will tell the director how to change his blood so that he will no longer be detected with illegal substances. But the director also had to tell everything he knew about the killer within the police. The director said that the killer came from the Lawyers Association. This association consisted of selected talented people. A person in the association could do 2 jobs at the same time, that is, a police officer and a prosecutor. The 3rd job was a killer who specialized in killing criminals. At this time, Chief Do and Jong-gon went to Lawyer Han's place, but they were stopped by the bodyguard. In the lobby, Jong-gon had a conflict with the bodyguard, but Chief Do stopped the two. He just wanted to go to the front door of the office to wait for Lawyer Han. The bodyguard heard that and let the two go up, but when they got to the door, the 3 of them discovered blood stains. They immediately pushed the door open and went inside. They found that the director had been killed. Lawyer Han was sitting on the floor in fear. She held a gun and pointed it at the 3 of them, saying that she wanted to kill the killer. Chief Do urged Jong-gon to find the killer while he would stay and calm Lawyer Han. After a while, Chief Do finally persuaded her to calm down. Then he ran out with Jong-gon to find the killer, but the 2 of them did not see him. The next day, the murder of the director of the Prahursi was reported in the newspaper, but the deputy minister announced that this was a suicide. After the meeting, Chief Do went to see the deputy minister to ask for the reason. The deputy minister took out the video of the director taking drugs and showed it to him. Chief Do suspected that the deputy minister had obtained the black book because the video was only saved there, but the deputy minister denied it, causing Chief Do to laugh. At this time, Chief Do realized that the supervisory board could no longer handle this case alone, so he wanted to ask So-jun for help. Unexpectedly, he knew that So-jun was an insider before Jong-gon, but because she did not harm the supervisory board, Chief Do let her go. Moreover, Chief Do secretly understood that the person who directed for So-jun also wanted to help the supervisory board. He asked So-jun to contact that person. Surprisingly, that person was the director. At this time, Lawyer Han was taken into the interrogation room. Although the deputy director concluded that the director had committed suicide, he still arrested Lawyer Han for investigation. Captain Jang thought that Lawyer Han knew because the gun only had her and the director's fingerprints. Lawyer Han's hand also had traces of gunpowder. He asked Lawyer Han who she had shot. However, she was still scared and couldn't remember. Outside, the director and the deputy director were listening to the interrogation. scene. The director knew that this was the deputy minister's plan. He wanted to recall Lawyer Han's past pain. The director couldn't help but enter the interrogation room. Then she took Lawyer Han away. Outside, Lawyer Han asked why the director was helping her. The director wasn't just helping Lawyer Han, she was helping the entire supervisory board. Then, head of the board, Du took Lawyer Han back to the office for a private talk. He wanted to hear everything that happened yesterday. Lawyer Han began to tell the story. While she and the director were negotiating, the assassin suddenly rushed in. He used a gun to blow the director's head off. Then he put the gun in the director's hand to make it look like he had committed suicide. Lawyer Han asked who the assassin was, but he just smiled and left. Lawyer Han quickly took the gun from the director's hand and shot the assassin. The assassin was shot but was still able to escape. Chief Du also remembered that there were 2 bullet holes and blood stains on the door. However, when So-jun and Jong-gon came to check, the blood stains were gone. Lawyer Han admitted that she had asked the bodyguard to take some blood and then erase all traces. The assassin wanted to be the only one who knew who the killer was. Chief Do advised her to let the police investigate, but Lawyer Han could no longer trust the police. The assassin stood up and left, causing Chief Du to angrily bang the chair. At this time, Jong-gon and So-jun could not get a blood sample, so they decided to sit and make a scene at Lawyer Han's house. But the two of them kept asking the bodyguard, but he did not tell them anything. Suddenly, someone came to inform the bodyguard of important news. The thing that the bodyguard asked his friend to test was 90% drugs. Jong-gon and So-jun accidentally heard this story. It turned out that what the other person was talking about was the ashes that Jong-gon got from the cleaning company. Jong-gon asked Lawyer Han to take them for testing because Jong-gon also did not trust the police. After hearing this news, Jong-gon returned to report to Chief Do. Chief Do suspected that drugs were still being traded by gangs, so he decided to interrogate Kim Sok. At first, he refused to tell anyone, but when Chief Do made the condition that he would help Kim Sok be safe and reduce his sentence, Kim Sok agreed to tell the whole truth. After receiving the message, Kim Sok will know where the drugs are. He will go pick them up and sell them. The money will be divided and transferred to many different anonymous accounts. Besides delivering the goods, Kim Sok has no other tasks. Jong-gon wonders if Kim Sok only has this task, then where do the drugs come from? Who is the consumer, and who is the money launderer? Chief Do remembers something. On the list of those murdered, there is a person who specializes in drug consumption. He can use an anonymous account to collect money. Another person is in the real estate business. He can use real estate to launder money. These people form an organized drug trafficking ring. However, there is still an unanswered question. Where do the drugs come from? At this time, Chief Do begins to think. Chief Do remembers the murdered director. He was also a drug addict. Why did the assassin have to kill the director? At this moment, Chief Do suddenly understood the problem. The director was also involved in the drug trafficking ring and he was the supplier. The goods were hidden in the procuratorate. Suddenly, So-jun entered. Jong-gon asked her if the procuratorate could have drugs. So-jun remembered that it was the place where the gangs collected illegal drugs. There was a total of about 300 kilograms of drugs stored there every year. The method of disposal was to burn them, but the location of the disposal was not disclosed. Jong-gon and Chief Do immediately ran to the cleaning company. This was probably where the procuratorate handled the drugs. In the incinerator of the cleaning company, Chief Do found a secret compartment. The drugs would be put in there. When burned, they would not be able to get in, so the drugs would remain intact. Then the director took the drugs and sold them. Jong-gon grabbed Chung-min and threatened to arrest him for drug trafficking. Chung-min quickly denied responsibility, blaming the procuracy for instigating him. Chief Do asked him to do as he said. He would make sure to leave Chung-min a way out. Hearing that, he quickly agreed. Later, the inspectors brought the drugs here to destroy. The sanitation workers followed the correct procedure. When they were done, they closed the incinerator and began to destroy them. When everything was finished, the inspectors did a final check and left. Just as they were about to go outside, the police led by Captain Jang rushed in and arrested them. Another group of police went inside. They caught the sanitation company employees red-handed taking the drugs. The police confiscated the evidence and took all the employees to the police station. The next day, the deputy minister held a press conference. He was preparing to publicize the achievements of the investigation team he led. While the deputy minister was sitting and drafting a document, Chief Do suddenly walked in. Chief Do advised the vice minister to postpone the press conference if he did not want to lose face. Unexpectedly, this was Chief Do's plan. Chief Do knew that the vice minister always sent Captain Jang to monitor, so Chief Do planned to play a prank on them. Chief Do's purpose was not to target the procuratorate, but he wanted to threaten the vice minister's power. After listening, the vice minister understood the problem. The vice minister sent Captain Jang to re-examine the drugs. When Captain Jang just went outside, he was informed by his subordinates that the drugs they had seized were all fake, which made Captain Jang extremely disappointed. At this time, the vice minister was in a state of crisis because he failed in the investigation of the procuratorate secretly selling drugs. Surely the procuratorate would come back to take revenge on him. Suddenly, Lawyer Han entered. She showed the vice minister the video of the director being murdered. Previously, the vice minister announced that the director had left this world and obstructed the investigation. If the video is made public now, the vice minister's mistake will become his weakness. The prosecutor's office can take advantage of this to take revenge for the recent drug case. Moreover, the blood of the murderer in the murder of the prosecutor was also taken by Lawyer Han for testing. If she compares the DNA and finds a match with someone inside the police, the vice minister will also commit the crime of covering up for his subordinates. In short, the vice minister is in danger of losing everything. Lawyer Han gives the vice minister a chance. If the vice minister is willing to let the assassin meet Lawyer Han, she will hand over the original tape. The vice minister needs time to think. Lawyer Han agrees to leave first. Immediately after that, the vice minister immediately calls his subordinate police, asking them to find a way to arrest Lawyer Han's bodyguard. The real purpose of the vice minister was to eliminate the person protecting Lawyer Han so that the assassin could act more easily. Later, Lawyer Han's bodyguard was called to the police station for investigation on the charge of possessing weapons. However, the things he brought with him were all approved by the government. The police only needed to keep the bodyguard here for a while, according to the vice minister's instructions. On the other side, Lawyer Han returned to the supervisory board. She told everyone that the vice minister had fallen into a trap. Maybe he was about to contact the assassin. The supervisory board just needed to follow and eavesdrop and catch him red-handed. Everyone was about to leave, but Lawyer Han did not leave. She was about to meet the people from the procuratorate. The other three had no choice but to leave first. As soon as everyone left the office, Lawyer Han locked the door. In fact, she knew that the assassin would come to find her, to steal the tape back, so she did not go with everyone. Outside, Chief Do told Jong Gon and Sojun to follow the vice minister, and he would follow behind. Unexpectedly, Chief Do suspected that Lawyer Han would continue to act alone, so he installed a camera in the supervisory board's office to see what Lawyer Han wanted to do. He would also protect her safety. At this time, Jong Gon and Sojun followed the deputy minister. The two prepared their belongings to eavesdrop. Suddenly, Jong Gon received a call from an unknown number. When Jong Gon answered the phone, he found out that the caller was the deputy minister. He had discovered that the supervisory board was following him. The deputy minister approached Jong Gon, but he asked where Lawyer Han was. This question made Jong Gon feel that something was wrong. Jong Gon realized that Lawyer Han was in danger, so he quickly got in the car and returned. On the other side, the assassin also appeared in the supervisory board's office, standing opposite Lawyer Han. She immediately rushed at him with a stun gun. The assassin only needed to wave his hand, and Lawyer Han would fall to the ground. She took the opportunity to pick up a knife from her pocket and stabbed the assassin straight in the chest. He angrily knocked down Lawyer Han and continuously kicked him hard. She stabbed the assassin once more in the leg and pushed him down. The assassin started to tremble and quickly took out a bottle of drugs from his shirt. Unexpectedly, the assassin was an addict. Lawyer Han despised him very much. The assassin angrily took out a pair of finger cutters, intending to cut off Lawyer Han's thumb. Outside, Chief Do was watching the camera. He saw something was wrong and prepared a gun. Chief Do rushed in and took down the assassin. Lawyer Han wanted to deal with the enemy herself, so she used an electric gun to shock Chief Do. She grabbed the gun and ran after the assassin outside. Because the assassin was too badly injured, he could not run any further. Lawyer Han intended to finish off the assassin to avenge his grudge from 7 years ago. But when she took off the assassin's mask, she realized that this was Captain Jang's subordinate. He was much younger than Lawyer Han had imagined. 7 years ago, this killer was probably still a high school student. He also admitted that he was invited by the police to join the Knights. The killer had only killed 3 people: the man with glasses, Huang In, and Zhang Man. The other victims were probably murdered by members of the Knights. To the killer, they were all people who deserved to die. But the killer insisted that he had never intended to kill a good person, so he spared Zhang Gan. At this moment, Zhang Gan returned. Zhang Gan realized that the killer was the one who stole the USB. It turned out that he had no intention of killing Zhang Gan that time, but because the killer attacked Zhang Man, Zhang Gan still couldn't control his anger. Zhang Gan strangled the killer and picked up a gun, intending to kill him. Luckily, Lawyer Han and Chief Du stopped him in time, so Zhang Gan was willing to let go of the gun. After everything was settled, Captain Zhang went to see Chief Du. Captain Zhang informed Chief Du about his subordinate's situation. Captain Zhang wanted to ask about Lawyer Han's situation. She was fine too. Then the two talked about old times. The two used to be in the same team. Everything had changed now, but they were still police officers, and their common goal was still to catch criminals. Captain Zhang knew he was going in the wrong direction, so he wanted to turn around and help Chief Du. Chief wanted Captain Zhang to do him a favor. Later, Captain Zhang led the police to the deputy minister's house. From the vice minister's wife's car, they took out some drugs. These were drugs that Chief Du got from the cleaning company's incinerator. Since Chief Du had no way to catch the deputy minister, he was forced to fabricate evidence that the deputy minister was dealing in drugs. On the other side, Chief Du went to the deputy minister's office to announce that he had no way out. The deputy minister also knew that, but when the police raided and arrested the deputy minister for drug trafficking, the deputy minister was extremely angry because he did not expect that Chief Du would fabricate evidence. After the deputy minister was taken away, the director went in to congratulate Chief Du because he had just solved a big case. The director gave Chief Du another task, which was to capture the Knights and find the Black Book. They were determined to punish the bad police. Even if the director did not say anything, Chief Du would definitely do it. At this time, Lawyer Han returned home. She was informed by the bodyguard that someone had come to see her. When she saw that person, she was both happy and heartbroken, because this was her husband whom she thought had died 7 years ago. Unexpectedly, her husband was secretly taken abroad for treatment by a mysterious person. The next day, the deputy minister was released to meet his defense attorney, but the person waiting for him in the room was Chief Du. As soon as the deputy minister saw Chief Du, he immediately scolded him. He said that what Chief Du was doing was wrong. Then the two went to find Chief Du. They wanted to negotiate with Chief Du about the matter of the vice minister. Lawyer Jun wanted Chief Du to transfer the vice minister to a cell with better conditions and to regularly give the vice minister blood pressure medication. Chief Du smiled and took the bag of medicine. Only then did Lawyer Jun state his terms of exchange. He would help Chief Du catch a famous corrupt criminal. When Lawyer Jun finished that, he hoped that Chief Du would agree to release the vice minister. Chief Du did not rush to agree to Lawyer Jun's terms. After Chief Du sent Lawyer Han and his wife away, he brought the bottle of medicine just now and asked the Bast So Jun to check it. So Jun then confirmed that there was absolutely no problem with this medicine. At this time, Zhang Gan brought Chief Du the investigation report, which contained information about So Kun and the assassin who was in the hospital. Before these two became police officers and worked for the Knights, they had been treated in the psychiatric department of a hospital. Zhang Gan suspected that they had met the first assassin of the Knights there, and that they had been manipulated and invited to join the association. Zhang Gan wanted to take So Jun to that hospital because he wanted to get the medical records of these two and check if any other policemen had been treated there. Later, Zhang Gan and So Jun arrived. Zhang Gan let So Jun in to investigate. So Jun discovered that this hospital had been closed 2 weeks ago and then reopened. The psychiatrist who had treated So Kun and the assassin had also disappeared since then. Zhang Gan and So Jun brought this matter back to Chief Du to tell. Chief Du had also investigated that Lawyer Jun had also returned to the country about 2 weeks ago. This could not be a coincidence. Chief Du sent Zhang Gan to the regional medical center because perhaps there were still medical records of So Kun and the assassin stored there. However, when Zhang Gan went there to inquire, the medical records of these two people were taken away, and the person who took them away was Lawyer Jun. Jong-gon went to find Lawyer Jun to ask. Lawyer Jun happily took Jong-gon back to the office to get the medical records. But when he got there, Lawyer Jun immediately revealed his true nature. Lawyer Jun ordered people to attack Jong-gon because he knew too much. Jong-gon was not an easy person to deal with. He grabbed the stick and defeated a few people. However, there were too many enemies, causing Jong-gon to be injured. He gradually lost strength and could no longer stand. A subordinate hugged him tightly, while the others took turns hitting him in the stomach. Jong-gon angrily kicked the person in front of him. Then he knocked down the one who was controlling him. After Jong-gon defeated all of Lawyer Jun's subordinates, Jong-gon went to Lawyer Jun and wanted to take him to the police station for investigation. Lawyer Jun was not an ordinary person either. He rolled up his sleeves to reveal the crisscrossing needle marks. Unexpectedly, Lawyer Jun was also an addict. Lawyer Jun pulled out a knife from under the table and wanted to attack Jong-gon, but Jong-gon immediately kicked him to the ground. Lawyer Jun stood up and held the knife and pushed Jong-gon against the wall, but Lawyer Jun continued to be kicked to the ground by Jong-gon. Unexpectedly, Lawyer Jun put sleeping pills on the knife, and Jong-gon gradually lost consciousness and fell down. Lawyer Jun was beaten in pain but still managed to smile. That evening, Lawyer Han went to see Chief Do. She thought back to what her husband said in the morning about wanting to take revenge on the vice minister, and Lawyer Han suspected that he would do something bad. Chief Do also told Lawyer Han the results of the investigation. When she was in the US, her husband was arrested for drug use. He suspected that Lawyer Jun was changing negatively, so he reminded Lawyer Han to be careful. The next day, Lawyer Jun went to see Chief Do, but the director was also there. She told Lawyer Jun directly that the deal between him and Chief Do would not be carried out because the vice minister was involved in an extremely serious case. His crime was more serious than the corrupt criminal that Lawyer Jun mentioned. Any criminal must be arrested. The police cannot release another person just because they arrested one person. After the chief left, Lawyer Jun sat down to talk to Chief Do. Lawyer Jun asked why the deal between the two was not accepted. The chief told Lawyer Jun that Lawyer Han had admitted that Lawyer Jun wanted to take revenge on the vice minister. Chief Do found Lawyer Jun suspicious and decided not to negotiate anymore. After hearing that, Lawyer Jun left angrily. Then Lawyer Jun led a few subordinates to Lawyer Han to take revenge on her for revealing the truth to Chief Do. At that time, Lawyer Han had just received a warning call from Chief Do. She immediately hid under the table and texted Chief Do that Lawyer Jun was crazy. Unfortunately, Lawyer Han was discovered by her husband. Chief Do received the message and knew something was wrong. He immediately ran to Lawyer Han's house, but she had disappeared. Suddenly, Chief Do received a call. Lawyer Jun wanted to continue negotiating about releasing the vice minister. Chief Do immediately refused and hung up. This made Lawyer Jun extremely angry. Lawyer Jun sent Chief Do a photo of Jong-gon and Lawyer Han tied up. Lawyer Jun continued to call Chief Do. However, Chief Do's answer was still the same. Chief Do ordered So Jun and the bodyguards to quickly locate Jong-gon. He would go back and talk to the vice minister. Surely the vice minister was also involved in this kidnapping. In the interrogation room, Chief Do gave the vice minister a bottle of medicine from Lawyer Jun. The vice minister didn't think anything of it and put it in his mouth to drink. Only then did Chief Do turn off the camera. He asked if the vice minister planned the kidnapping with Lawyer Jun. The vice minister admitted it directly. As long as the vice minister was released, Jong-gon and Lawyer Han would be safe. The vice minister also showed him a way to get Chief Do to let him go without being discovered. Suddenly, the vice minister fell to the ground in pain. Chief Do told the vice minister that he had mixed a little bit of drugs into Lawyer Jun's blood pressure medicine. The vice minister often said that, sacrificing small things to get big things, he was willing to let assassins kill people to catch criminals. This time, Chief Do did it the same way. He killed the vice minister to capture Lawyer Jun for investigation. Chief Do asked the vice minister one last question. Who killed Jong-gon's mother 15 years ago? But the vice minister insisted on keeping it a secret. Chief Do ignored him and left. At this time, Lawyer Jun was tying up Jong-gon and his wife. He wanted to cut off Lawyer Han's finger to get revenge for what happened 7 years ago, because she told the assassin to cut off his finger. Lawyer Han agreed to pay the debt, but she asked Lawyer Jun to release Jong-gon. Lawyer Jun heard that and immediately changed his mind. Lawyer Jun saw his wife caring and sacrificing for others, so he wanted to cut off Jong-gon's finger first. Lawyer Han shouted loudly to tell him to stop. It turned out that Lawyer Jun just wanted to tease him a little. On the other side, Chief Do returned to the interrogation room. He brought the antidote here. If the vice minister wanted to live, he had to let Chief Do know how to contact Lawyer Jun. The vice minister signaled that he had a phone in his pocket. Unexpectedly, he even brought a phone into the prison. Chief Do took out his phone to find Lawyer Jun's number and sent it to So Jun. So Jun only needed to locate this number to find Lawyer Jun. So Jun relied on that and found out where Jong Gon was being held. So Jun reported to Chief Do and went there first with Lawyer Han's bodyguard. Chief Do also called Lawyer Jun to inform him that the police were coming to his place. Chief Do would give Lawyer Jun a way out because Chief Do still needed him to catch the corrupt criminal. Lawyer Jun's expression changed after hearing this. He knelt down and apologized to his wife because he let hatred overwhelm his mind and did something wrong to her. Lawyer Han knew that her husband's purpose was only to take revenge on her and the vice minister. She advised Lawyer Jun to stop soon. Lawyer Jun apologized to Jong Gon and used his shirt to bandage his blood. After that, Lawyer Jun left. Jong Gon also wanted Lawyer Jun to stay and fight with him, but Lawyer Jun did not fulfill his wish. As soon as Lawyer Jun left, So Jun and his bodyguard arrived. They untied Jong Gon first. He immediately led So Jun to chase Lawyer Jun, while the bodyguard stayed to take care of Lawyer Han. The two followed Lawyer Jun's location to a phone booth. They discovered that Lawyer Jun left his phone there. Suddenly the phone rang. Lawyer Jun knew that Jong Gon was following him. Lawyer Jun told Jong Gon to go to an abandoned warehouse. Here, Lawyer Han would receive money from the person who directed the vice minister. Jong Gon was not afraid that this was a trap because he had to go to a dangerous place to catch the bad guy. On this side, the dying vice minister pointed to the bottle of medicine on the table. Chief Do almost forgot that the vice minister was having an addiction attack. He quickly pointed out the vein for the vice minister, but he wanted to ask the vice minister about the whereabouts of the black book. The vice minister shook his head to show that he did not know. Chief Do saw that he was stubborn and wanted to leave. The vice minister was forced to say the word golf. Chief Do immediately understood that he hid the black book in the golf club box. He called an ambulance and injected the vice minister with medicine. After the vice minister was taken away, Chief Do went to see Captain Jang. He asked Captain Jang to help him arrest some criminals. Then Chief Do informed Jong Gon and So Jun to wait at the warehouse. Chief Do would send reinforcements, but Jong Gon couldn't wait. Jong Gon borrowed So Jun's electric gun and wanted to go inside to check first. So Jun wanted to stop Jong Gon but couldn't, so she had to sit in the car and wait for him. Jong Gon bravely went inside with a stick. He saw the thugs writing a will to Lawyer Jun. Jong Gon immediately guessed that they were waiting for Lawyer Jun to arrive. Then they would kill Lawyer Jun and fake it as a suicide. The thugs surrounded Jong Gon and rushed to beat him, but they were beaten mercilessly by Jong Gon. Jong Gon quickly flew over the roof of the car to avoid his opponent's attack. Then he used his stick to beat each thug to the ground. Although the enemy had the advantage in numbers, all those useless guys were no match for Jong Gon. Any thug would have to submit to Jong Gon's stick. When Jong Gon was almost done, Captain Jang arrived. The police just had to arrest the person. Jong Gon just leisurely left. After Jong Gon returned to the police station, he went to find Chief Do. Chief Do was rummaging through the golf club box. Jong Gon wondered what Chief Do was looking for, but he didn't say anything. Jong Gon angrily left the office. Later, Chief Do got what he needed, which was the USB containing the black book hidden by the vice minister in the golf club box. Chief Do brought Lawyer Han along to bring it to find the director. They coincidentally met the director leaving the room. He came here to force the director to stop the supervisory board from investigating the black book. Chief Do looked at the director and sneered. This time, he couldn't escape because the director was also in the black book. After the director left, the director led the lawyer and section chief Do into the room. The director relayed the director's warning. Section chief Do took out several photos of the director's daughter with her lover outside. The director used his daughter's name to buy real estate to launder money. The amount was up to 1 billion won. Now that section chief Do had grasped the director's weakness, he would not let him off easily. Section Chief Do also had the blacklist, and he wanted to catch all corrupt officials. The director agreed to Section Chief Do's wish because her name was not in the blacklist. Section Chief Do and Lawyer Han asked permission to leave first. Then she called the director, and she informed him that she had grasped his weakness. The director's power was now threatened, so he should not affect the investigation supervisory board. In the evening, Lawyer Jun came to the hospital. He wanted to take revenge on the vice minister and the assassin. But as soon as Lawyer Jun pulled out his knife, Jong Gon rushed in with a gun. Soon after, Captain Jang also came to arrest people. Lawyer Jun was taken to the police station without being able to do anything. In the interrogation room, Jong-gon asked about So-kun's medical records and the killer in the hospital's neurology department. Lawyer Jun admitted that he took it, but before that, someone from the Knights had deleted all the data inside. Jong-gon wanted to know more about the Knights, but Lawyer Jun had no information either. After Jong-gon left the interrogation room, he met Captain Jang's daughter. Jong-gon approached Jang Mi to ask her about her father. Jang Mi used good words to talk about her father. Jang Mi said that Captain Jang went to arrest criminals because of her family. Jong-gon took Jang Mi to the supervisory board's office. He asked why she said that. Jang Mi sat down and told Jong-gon everything. 15 years ago, a criminal came to her house and attacked her family. At that time, she was the only one at home. Jang Mi was cut on the index finger by the criminal. Because of this, Captain Jang and his ex-wife divorced. Her father vowed to catch all criminals in the country at all costs. Jong-gon let Jang Mi go first and sat down to think. Jong-gon remembered the second criminal who died in the serial murder. Then Jong-gon realized something. Jong-gon immediately took the victim's photo and asked the prison warden. The warden recognized the photo as soon as he saw it. This victim was the criminal who was caught by the warden and Captain Jang 15 years ago. Then the criminal escaped from prison and went to Captain Jang's house to cause trouble. Jong-gon wondered if the police had tortured the criminal by cutting off his finger. The warden confirmed what Jong-gon said, and the person who did it was Captain Jang. Captain Jang learned the method passed down from Jong-man. Finally, Jong-gon found out who was the first policeman in the Lawyers Association and who killed Jong-gon's mother. Jong-gon walked quietly in the rain, thinking about what he should do next. On the other side, Captain Jang met his daughter. Jang Mi told her father about meeting a handsome man at the supervisory board's office. Captain Jang immediately ran to find Jong-gon, but he was not in the office. When Captain Jang saw the photo of the second victim in the serial murder case disappear, he thought Jong-gon understood everything. Captain Jang hurriedly went to look for Captain Jang but could not find him. In the evening, Captain Jang returned home. He heard his wife say that a young man came to see him. Captain Jang immediately ran into his daughter's room. He saw Jong-gon reading a story to her. Captain Jang could not help but be afraid, but Jong-gon was not someone who would harm children. Jong-gon wanted to go out to talk with Captain Jang. Jong-gon wanted to ask why he killed Jong-gon's mother 15 years ago. 15 years ago, Jong-man returned home and put the black book on the ventilation pipe. Jong-man then said goodbye to his wife and children and left so as not to implicate them. Right after Jong-man left, someone suddenly knocked on the door. Jong-gon's mother recognized the person who came as Captain Jang, but she listened to her husband's instructions, so she didn't want anyone to enter the house. Unexpectedly, Captain Jang broke the door and rushed in. Jong-gon's mother was scared and grabbed the knife. Captain Jang just wanted to find the black book. He advised her not to get agitated, but Jong-gon's mother couldn't keep calm. She directly attacked Captain Jang. While the two were struggling, the knife accidentally stabbed Jong-gon's mother. Captain Jang didn't mean to hurt her either, but Jong-gon saw this scene. The boy was scared and hid in the bathroom. Captain Jang advised Jong-gon to forget everything that happened tonight if he didn't want to be like his mother because he was too scared. Jong-gon remembered the wrong memory. Now Captain Jang couldn't find the black book and was about to leave. At this time, Captain Jang heard the phone ring again. The caller was Chief Do. He said he would go to Jong-man's house to arrest Jong-man. Captain Jang immediately left. Jong-gon rushed out to hug his mother and cry, but she lost too much blood and died on the spot. Later, Chief Do went to Jong-gon's house. The boy was scared and continued to hide in the bathroom. That's why Jong-gon mistook Chief Do as his mother's killer. Back to reality, Captain Jang put his daughter to sleep. Then he went to the living room to talk to Jong-gon. Captain Jang told his wife to go buy wine to avoid her hearing their conversation, because Captain Jang was afraid that Jong-gon would record the conversation as evidence. Captain Jang carefully told him to put the phone on the table. At this time, Captain Jang confessed that he was the one who killed Jong-gon's mother, but it was just an accident, so he spared Jong-gon's life, even though Jong-gon had seen Captain Jang's face that night. Every time Captain Jang faced Jong-gon in the future, he was afraid that Jong-gon would recognize him as the one who killed his mother. But fortunately, Jong-gon only discovered it now. Captain Jang's attitude was extremely sincere and repentant. Jong-gon advised Captain Jang to confess, but Captain Jang did not want to, because then his daughter would become the daughter of a murderous police officer. Jong-gon asked Captain Jang, "So what if you have been the daughter of a murderer for the past 15 years, Captain Jang promised to make it up to Jong-gon by helping Jong-gon capture the knights, thanks to which Jong-gon would be promoted. Captain Jang told Jong-gon everything he knew about the knights, but Jong-gon did not need that. He just wanted to clear his dead father's name. Because the two of them could not achieve their common goal, they began to have conflicts. At this time, Captain Jang's wife returned. Jong-gon asked permission to leave first to give him more time to think. Jong-gon did not want their feud to affect the people around him. As soon as Jong-gon left, Captain Jang forced his wife to take their daughter to her grandmother's house for a few days. The wife did not understand anything, but when she heard her husband say that, she was forced to do so. On the other side, Chief Do knew about Jong-gon's situation, so he went everywhere to look for Jong-gon. So Jun determined that Jong-gon was near Captain Jang's house. Chief Do hurriedly went there. He called Jong-gon to advise him not to do anything rash. Jong-gon told Chief Do the truth from 15 years ago. This surprised Mr. Do. After hanging up the phone, Jong-gon was attacked by two thugs. He gently dealt with them and took the phone. Jong-gon saw the message that a car was waiting. He asked the thug where the car was. The thug was afraid of being beaten again, so he quickly revealed the location. Then Jong-gon went to the car. He rushed in and attacked all three thugs. They were caught off guard and were quickly defeated. Jong-gon grabbed the phone and received a call from the person who gave the order. Unexpectedly, Captain Jang had just begged Jong-gon, but now he hired someone to attack Jong-gon. After Captain Jang knew that the thugs had failed, he quickly prepared another plan for himself. Captain Jang tore his own clothes and faked a fight in the room. He pretended that Jong-gon came to his house to cause trouble, so he was forced to attack Jong-gon. But the first person to arrive was Chief Do, which caused Captain Jang's plan to fail. Chief Do advised Captain Jang to admit his mistake and correct his mistake, but Captain Jang still used his family and children as an excuse. He only killed criminals to protect his family. Chief Do asked why Jong-gon's mother had to die, but Captain Jang argued that it was an accident. At that moment, Jong-gon opened the door and walked in, holding a gun aimed at Captain Jang. Chief Do advised the two not to shoot, but because the situation was tense, he also picked up the gun. The three guns were pointed at each other. Chief Do used his parents to advise Jong-gon. They didn't want him to become a murderer. Moreover, Jong-gon had to clear his father's name. Jong-gon couldn't let Captain Jang die unjustly. Chief Do promised to find a way to make Captain Jang pay, but Captain Jang seemed to have no remorse. He said that all the evidence in the cases was gone now. Jong-gon angrily kicked Captain Jang to the ground. Jong-gon handed Captain Jang over to Chief Do. Jong-gon hoped that Chief Do would help him get justice. In the end, Chief Do's advice worked. Jong-gon still hadn't killed anyone yet. After Captain Jang was taken back to the interrogation room, he still maintained his stance. He wouldn't confess until there was evidence to charge him. This stubbornness left Chief Do and Jong-gon helpless. They returned to the office to discuss how to find evidence to charge Captain Jang. Chief Do remembered that 15 years ago, Captain Jang had to borrow money to pay for his house, but on the day Jang Mi had her finger surgery, Captain Jang had enough money for the hospital fees. Chief Do suspected that Captain Jang had received money from the Knights Association since then. Chief Do told Sojun to investigate the source of the money. Jong-gon was sent home to rest. Because he had worked too hard these past few days, and he was also injured, Jong-gon had no choice but to return first. Later, Sojun returned to report to Chief Do that she had found the person who would sponsor Captain Jang's daughter's surgery. That person was the Vice Minister. Chief Do sent Sojun away first. He would interrogate the Deputy Minister alone. In the interrogation room, Chief Do stated his guess. The Deputy Minister was the one who mobilized the police to form the Knights. Now the Deputy Minister no longer denied it. He said that the Knights existed all over the country, and that the members of the Knights were all elite assassins selected from the police force. The purpose of the Knights was to kill criminals that the law could not punish. Chief Do had a question. Was the policeman who was murdered in the serial murder case the Deputy Minister's doing? He admitted, because the police accidentally discovered the conversation between the Deputy Minister and Captain Jang. Chief Do was extremely angry when he heard that. Chief Do asked who else else was in the nights. Unexpectedly, after Chief Do got the blacklist, he discovered that all the names in the nights had been erased by the deputy minister. However, even if he died, the deputy minister would not reveal those names. Suddenly, Chief Do received a call from the director. She reported to her superiors to release the deputy minister because he was placed under investigation without detention. Chief Do knew that the deputy minister was still cooperating with someone. Before the deputy minister left, Chief Do wanted to ask a question. Who was the real owner of the nights? The deputy minister replied that it was someone Chief Do also knew. This suggestion made Chief Do extremely confused. At this time, Lawyer Han returned home. She discovered someone's finger on the table. Lawyer Han called the bodyguard to check, and she asked the bodyguard to bring it to So-jun for examination. The next day, Lawyer Han went to the supervisory board's office. She did not expect the killer to dare to leave the murder weapon at Chief Do's place. The knights wanted to confirm that they still had people. A moment later, So-jun brought the examination results. The finger belonged to the cleaning staff, Chung Min. On it there were 3 other bloodstains waiting for analysis. Perhaps the knights wanted to declare war on the supervisory board. Chief Do warned everyone to be careful. On the other side, Jong-gon received a phone call from the vice minister. The vice minister said that he had evidence of the murder of Jong-gon's mother 15 years ago. Jong-gon hurried to the vice minister's place to get the evidence. But when Jong-gon just reached the door, the apartment security guard brought a letter addressed to Jong-man. Unexpectedly, he still kept a safe in the bank 15 years ago. Now it was time to take it out, so the bank sent a notice. Jong-gon reported this to Chief Do. He also reported that the evidence from the case 15 years ago was in the hands of the vice minister. Chief Do told Jong-gon to take Lawyer Han to the bank to get the safe first. The matter of the evidence in the hands of the vice minister would be resolved later. Later, Jong-gon and Lawyer Han went to the bank to get something. The staff took out the safe that Jong-man had kept for 15 years. Inside was a tape recorder and a letter. Jong-gon turned on the tape recorder to listen. What surprised Jong-gon was that Jong-man admitted that he had created the knights. The deputy minister was just a helper for Jong-man to realize his ideal. Jong-man wanted to kill all the criminals in the country. Jong-man left Jong-gon the last evidence, which was the original copy of the Black Book. It could expose all the truths about the knights. It was up to Jong-gon to decide what to do with it. Later, Jong-gon brought the things his father left behind to Chief Do. Jong-gon wanted to announce the truth about the knights. Chief Do handed over the evidence to Jong-gon. Jong-gon had to make this truth public himself. Jong-gon still needed time to think more. The next day, Jong-gon went to find the deputy minister, and Lawyer Han followed him. Unexpectedly, when everyone entered the deputy minister's house, he had died of a heart attack. Jong-gon was very disappointed to see him die so easily. Lawyer Han also reported this news to Chief Do. Chief Do could only laugh helplessly after hearing it. Since the vice minister had died, the director asked Chief Do to end the case peacefully. But Chief Do still had many doubts, so he had to investigate further. In the forensic room, the doctor concluded that the vice minister had a stroke and died. If the vice minister had been murdered by the knights, his finger could not have been intact like that. Jong-gon tried to check the vice minister's toes, but they were also intact. Suddenly, Jong-gon remembered that there was a lot of trash at the scene, but the vice minister's feet were extremely clean. Perhaps the vice minister did not die of a stroke but was murdered by someone. Jong-gon immediately ran to investigate. He and So-jun brought the report to Chief Do. There was a needle mark between the vice minister's 2 toes. Perhaps the poison had been transferred there. Before he died, the deputy minister contacted Captain Jiang, the chief of police, and several people from the general police department. Chief Do's sent So-jun to investigate the alibi of those people. Chief Do asked Jong-gon for one more detail. Were the deputy minister's reading glasses dropped at the scene? Jong-gon confirmed that they were. Chief Do led the 2 people there to check again. It turned out that Chief Do had previously applied a special fluorescent powder to the deputy minister's reading glasses. Once it got on the person, it could not be wiped off. They would use a lamp containing ultraviolet rays to make the fluorescent substance glow. The 3 people discovered that there had been a fight here. The deputy minister was definitely murdered, and the murderer would also have fluorescent powder on him. Jong-gon immediately went to find someone. The first person he suspected was Captain Jiang. However, when Zhang Gan shined the ultraviolet light on Captain Jiang, he did not detect anything. However, when Zhang Gan returned to the car, So Jun discovered that Zhang Gan had turned on the lights incorrectly. When the light was turned on, the fluorescent substance appeared all over Zhang Gan's hands. It was definitely because he had just touched Captain Zhang that the fluorescent substance stuck to Zhang Gan's hands. Right after that, Zhang Gan and So Jun rushed to Captain Jiang's house, but when the two of them arrived, they only found the fluorescent powder still stuck on the doorknob and on Captain Jiang's daughter, and he had disappeared. Zhang Gan guessed that Captain Jiang would come to his house. Captain Jiang came to ask Zhang Gan to forgive him for what happened 15 years ago. Zhang Gan just needed him to confess, but Captain Jiang still denied the crime because he didn't want to affect his family. Therefore, he and Zhang Gan had another conflict. Zhang Gan said that if Captain Jiang confessed, he would still have a chance to see his daughter, but like Zhang Man, he could only see his son once and then die. But Captain Jiang didn't understand. Zhang Gan had to fight until he understood the problem. In the end, Captain Jiang lost and was taken to the police station by Zhang Gan. When he arrived, Zhang Gan heard that Chief Do was still at the deputy minister's house, so he immediately went there. Chief Do was looking for the murder weapon that killed Zhang Gan's mother 15 years ago. He wanted to find evidence to charge Captain Jiang. After a while of searching, Chief Do and Zhang Gan discovered the murder weapon hidden in a fish cage under the lake. Zhang Gan quickly jumped in to retrieve it. Chief Do said that he just had to pull it up and the fish cage would go up. Finally, the evidence was found. At this time, Captain Jiang was brought in for questioning. He did not admit to any crime other than killing the deputy minister. Not only that, he kept asking for evidence. Captain Jiang was sure that he had destroyed things that were not favorable to him. Lawyer Han came in to inform Captain Jiang that Zhang Gan and Chief Do had found the murder weapon in the case of Zhang Gan's mother 15 years ago, which made Captain Jiang start to worry. The next day, Chief Do held a press conference. He revealed the whole truth about the murderous police organization called the Knights, which was founded by the deputy minister and Zhang Man. The Knights specializes in eliminating criminals who are not prosecuted by the law, such as embezzlement, bribery, and bribery. The purpose of this organization is like covering up the crimes of the police. Chief Do also cleared Zhang Man's name. He was not the murderer of his wife 15 years ago. The real murderer was Captain Jiang. Chief Do admitted that he had falsified evidence in the case. The reporters asked about the members of the Knights, who were the corrupt officials. Zhang Gan would email the Black Book to the National Assembly about this, and they would make an announcement later. The director was watching the news with the director and was extremely worried. The director intended to leave but was held back by the police. Captain Jiang was also taken away to be tried. Before leaving, Captain Jiang was released by Zhang Gan to see his daughter one last time. By now, Captain Jiang also felt regretful about what he had done. It was not over yet because the police had not yet arrested the entire Knights Association. The chief continued to supervise the activities of the 4 veteran members, returning to work together. The film ended here. Thank you everyone for your attention. Goodbye, and see you again.